Welcome back to the kNights podcast. After a long hiatus, we are back, baby. Woo! 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 I am your co-host, Keikoa.
And I lost my name tag. Ben, found it.
Sure, After all this time, that's what we come up with?
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving.
Do we do Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving, yes.
Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa.
When was Kwanzaa?
Merry Festivus to the rest of us.
Got the poll. Wait. Cut that. That got weird.
Did it? Or is it just right?
I'll allow it. We are back after, how was it, 3 months? 2.5? Wait.
No, we did. Wait. Possibly.
3, I'd say. I'd go with 3 because...
Who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting?
Who's
no one's
listening?
counting. But it is a new year, and we are back. How have you been, sir?
Same as you. Super busy.
Yes.
Super.
Quite busy. I'm just happy we're able to finally get back here and finally do another podcast for the people. But yeah, just been super busy with the holidays and honeymooning and New Year's doing and Thanksgivings and all those things. Lots to talk about.
So much to talk about. But before we get into it...
Indeed.
Before... we kick off this first show of the new year like we kick off all our other shows with a roundtable question.
Ooh, saucy.
So let's go round the table of 2.
It's a round in a straight line.
In a roundabout way.
In a roundabout way. We like to keep it, streamlined in a line.
So, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, it's... I actually haven't done karaoke in a long time. But when it did go more often, it was all... I think we used to do Love Shack, actually, for some reason. Because it was fun, and, there was a guy and a girl part, and it was just fun. Everyone could get into it kind of thing, even though when it was only, 3 of us. But, I'd say that, but... yeah, this is the one that we'd always play. But it was, oh my goodness. Well, this is the straight
Karaoke one.
The actual karaoke. You don't even have any words up there. You gotta throw the words up because I don't know where I'm at. Oh wait, we do have words. Oh, it's the karaoke channel. There's a channel for that.
Get away.
Oh, he's even got background singers. It's as big as a whale, and we're heading on down to the Love Shack.
More flamboyant.
I'm doing very, very... It's not translating to the microphone.
And bring your jukebox money!
I'll sing the girl part then. Actually, it sings it for you then.
Love Shack Baby.
No, that's a Love Shack Baby.
A Love Shack.
There you go. It's got an A up there. Well, yeah, this is what we used to do. I even know
Love.
I assume it's because it had a guy and girl part, but come to think, I don't even know why. It just kind of happened every time. It just became the one that we do because it was fun. But I don't know, think about it. Well, what's one I would do though?
By yourself?
Yeah, I was trying to think of something that I do that I always did, but I don't think I had a go-to one. But then I would guess it was something that was from the 90s, because apparently that's all my playlist is mostly either 90s and early 2000s and late 80s, right there. So it's probably going to be something from that section. I'm going to sing something, and it's probably going to be maybe something in the A's, because when you're going through the book, you go through A's, maybe something in the B's, unless you go random page.
No, nothing more recent or even international songs, non-English songs.
Non-English. Well, I mean, that would be English.
Well, there's a Spanish version.
I don't know anything about that. Your Spanish is much better than my Spanish.
Poquito.
See?
What'd I just say?
No idea. I got nothing for that one. Well, I mean, usually any place you go, it's usually... Although, as I say, there's only English, unless you go to, like, Japan or something. And I hear there you can sing video game music as part of the karaoke.
Huh.
Like, if it's a song that has words to it. I'd seen something where they're singing a video game song.
Video game music?
I didn't get to go there.
Like what?
I think in the video I saw where the guy was talking about, he was doing the theme for Snake Eater, the Metal Gear Solid 3 one. I guess it has words or something, but he was singing that because I guess he was a big Metal Gear Solid fan. But they had it as an option. So I was just like, okay. I mean, I can't imagine other games that have words that I'd want to sing, but I guess it has words. Oh, there you go. With darkness and silence through the night. Huh. I saw a guy singing this, so it's a little different.
What a thrill.
There we go. Well, again, maybe they probably... I mean, I haven't been to karaoke for a while, actually. Like, we went to round 1, they had karaoke, but we didn't do it. Because there were so many other cool things to do.
Claw machines.
But they had karaoke. We didn't do it because we were distracted by other bright and shiny things. I apologize for our audio issues. We had to dust off.
Never does that.
Well, we had to dust off the equipment. It's been a while since it's been used.
It's kind of rusty.
Yeah. It's like, oh, now you're back. Now you want to do a podcast. I see how. So it's a little touchy because it's kind of a diva. So not Ben.
Normally
the soundboard.
Hey.
And Ben. But yeah, so
the knob's like stretching its legs. That's what it's doing.
Might have to splurge for a new board. New year, new board.
It just barely touching. It's like static.
We'll get all the bugs worked out once we get back into rhythm. We're just getting back into it. We'll fill it out. So what's yours? What would be yours then?
Mine? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. What would be mine?
For a second, I thought it was going to be like Taxi. I'm like, that's really weird. It doesn't have words.
That's what first came in your head.
The very beginning sound. The theme from Taxi? That's weird.
Oh, I got it.
Hello, baby.
I totally should have guessed that.
It's like almost like I rickrolled you.
It is. I totally should have saw that coming, and I didn't.
Oh, you know what I like.
Did it.
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail a hanging down. Classic.
I really should have got that one. It was inexcusable. I should have saw that one.
Oh, baby, that's what I like.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, honey.
This is the song. This is Ace.
Oh, baby, you know what I like.
Dirty.
How did you not know? That's my go-to.
I totally believe that.
It's my warm-up song.
I was gonna say that's your song, even if you're not at karaoke. That's your like Tuesday song.
It's me doing scales.
Yes, that is how that one goes. It's totally what it is. You'll bust this out anytime. Anytime's a good time.
You don't want to... How about some international songs? International.
What did you have in mind? Wow. You just don't stop.
No. So you're in the room dancing as you're doing this.
Wow. Magic. There was a time.
There was a time. Never letting it die.
Bringing it back. Because it was the biggest thing ever. I bet a lot this went on, actually. What was this? Was 2014? No, earlier than that. 2013? Wow. Well, I guess K-pop's pretty big still now.
July 15, 2012. So, it's almost 5 years.
Really?
Feel old now? You feel old?
Well, by this time I think I was already feeling old, so there's another generation that will now hear this song and feel old. I'm well past feeling old by now. I've already heard my songs appearing on the oldies station, which is weird. I don't even know what to do with that, because songs I grew up with are on the oldie station, so this is somebody's I Feel Old song now. Not mine, because this is not my generation, but there's somebody that's going to hear this song, you're going to tell them that information, and be like, wow, 2012 does seem like a long... Well, actually, we just had a new year, so... That is a while ago now. Time does fly.
Oppa Gangnam Style. You want to feel older?
That'd be hard. There we go.
I did it.
Now we're getting to... Okay, now when's this?
You want to take a guess?
I'm going to go with 95.
Wow. Pretty good. Yep.
Really?
95.
I was really going to say 93, but it seemed too early.
Well, it came out on the 93 album, but then it hit in 95.
That's when it blew up.
And
Like, yeah, okay.
Oh, your dates are right on.
I was going to say 93, but that's when the original album dropped, and everybody knows that.
It's like when the first note of the song plays and you're like, oh, it's a song by that artist. Like, what? I only played one note. What can I say? Musical genius. Musical savant.
Oh my god, there was a time when...
Feel old, huh?
I don't think I got into it like a lot of people did. But I think it's because, like, everyone could do it, in theory, because... Oh, I don't know. Everyone felt like they were part of something. Maybe that's what it is. It's like, I could do that dance. I'm part of something.
Come on, what was I supposed to do? He was out of town, and his two friends.
But,
Well,
Like-
this is the original song. It's not the dance.
the radio mix
Yeah.
version of it.
Where it's just this part.
Oh, right, because it has the talking in between.
Yeah.
And no one wants to hear the talking. They want to do the dancing part. Do they have, like, a world record for largest, like, Macarena, like, line or something like that?
Something like that.
That was the thing.
You want to feel older?
I don't know. This is right in my ballpark. I don't know if this feels me older, just sadder.
Do you know the dance still?
This is definitely outside of my wheelhouse. Not a lot of line dancing. Although,
Everyone knew the dance. Everyone. At one point.
I think by the time because this song must have been, nine. I don't know when this would be. I was gonna guess
92.
I was gonna say 93. But by the time I really noticed this song, I think it was already a joke by then. I want to say, like, by the time it hit my ring of knowledge, I was just like, it was kind of like, but it was big. It was another one of those ones that just caught on. But
Well, there's a parody of it that came out pretty quick, too. And I'm pretty sure that's the one that you're probably thinking of or heard. Probably.
I had a feeling what you're going to play, but I've actually never heard this one.
Really?
Yeah. But I felt like there had to be a version of it.
Where you can take a hike or ride your mountain bike, pick up some extra friends along the way. A skeeter or a tick, you gotta catch 'em quick, or they'll be moving in on you to stay. They've kept me up at night, they've covered me with bites. I found me in a sea of calamine, where you can touch my lips or kiss my fingertips. But if you wanna be a gal of mine, don't touch that spot, that itchy twitchy spot, that spot that's swelling up and turning red.
I thought you were going to go with the Weird Al one.
Cause if you touch that spot, that itchy
Well,
twitchy
Weird Al
spot,
anything.
I just might scratch my
Parody, Weird Al. Yeah.
Because I was like, I knew there was a Weird Al parody of the song, but I couldn't imagine it in my head. Like, I don't think I listened to it. I just knew that it was something that existed. But I'm the kind of person who goes to Weird Al concerts. Although they don't play that song there. But Billy Ray Cyrus? That was the one who did the original one?
Yeah. Billy Ray Cyrus.
Father of Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, y'all.
Yes. That's weird that came back.
I just might scratch myself today.
Yep, never heard this one. I feel that you have though.
Meh.
I guess I wonder if I guess I wouldn't do this one. And Macarena isn't much of a song you do at karaoke anyway. It's one you dance to. Gangnam Style. I guess people were singing that though, and doing the dance.
What about this one?
I know it. Or maybe not. Oh, is this that one that you? I think you played this for me.
This is going back further, 2002. Or, I mean, more recent. I mean.
I was to say,
It's like I'm going the other way.
I don't never get the hang of time travel. I feel like you played this for me.
Probably.
I think I remember hearing this when I was in your car. Like this was in your mix.
It just came up randomly. Or I might have played on purpose. I don't know.
What, in your car or just now?
Okay, let me go back in history then. Because I'm pretty sure you know this one. Fast forward.
Wow, you have to...
Wait. I need to do that part again.
I'm trying to use the
Oh, okay.
I think you know where this is going.
I think I know. This is well, actually, you'd have to fast forward it after he gets thrown out. And then he knocks over the bikes.
This is the private club of the Satan's helpers? Nobody hit me to that, dude.
Okay.
There you go. I was going to say, there's a lot after that happens before that happens.
My memory is a little bit truncated.
And I don't know why that's in my head that I know that. I shouldn't know that. That's useless information. I wonder if this ever went down somewhere after this. He wins them through the power of dance.
Taking you back. Way back.
Well, because I guess there was a time before this where people were like, this song probably wasn't like that big. But now I like to think anytime this song plays, it's always associated with this.
Karaoke song of choice. Just one word.
You're just holding the microphone, just waiting for your chance to do it, and then it comes and you totally miss it.
I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna get this.
I got this. I got this.
I got it.
No. Nope, not yet. Yeah. Okay. Focus. You gotta focus.
Tequila.
Yes, nailed it. 10 out of 10 would do again.
Vodka. Wait.
Play it again.
Thanks a lot, dudes.
Now it just makes me want to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure again. Because... although, I wonder if I just feel nostalgic for it. And if I watch it again, I'll be like... yeah.
Classic.
That
Yeah.
takes me back. Oh, but we gotta come back to now. Or not.
That's just background karaoke music.
Fair enough.
Where it began. do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't actually know the words, so that's why I was like,
I can put it up for you.
this is definitely your thing. Not until it gets to the main part, the same part everyone else would know.
I'll do backup. Whoa.
This is like the talking part.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me,
Oh, let's skip there.
touching you.
Nailed it. Sweet Caroline.
On the backup. Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
Times never. Nope, too soon. Seems so good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Wait. That's weird. I feel inclined to believe they never would, but now I think it's delayed.
I think this one is.
I was like, nah, I don't think it's weird. But we must, I was gonna say go again, but I don't know if we've ever been.
I think we have.
We should have, but
Back when, tequila was a thing?
yeah, I don't, We've got to rectify the situation then.
Games. Rectify.
There we go.
I'm not a program. I'm a user.
Little Tron for you. Sweet Caroline.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Good times never seem so good.
So good. So good.
I feel inclined. It's weird. I'm saying it the way it's like lighting up, and it's like you wouldn't sing it that way. Weird. Anyways.
Anyway. Whoa, whoa. Okay, I'll stop. Moving on.
Okay.
Big things.
Big thing.
Big things. You went somewhere.
I did.
Where did you go?
Gyms. Oh, wait, no. Further than that. Sorry. That was more recently. I went on my honeymoon. Finally.
What?
Oh, right. I got the marriage.
What?
I finally got the marriage, the hitched,
I did not hear about this.
to Carrie, who I've talked about before on the podcast. But now we are one in union. But we didn't go on our honeymoon like you guys did right after. We had like a 1 month gap between when we got married and when we actually went on our honeymoon.
Yeah, it's a thing now.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Delayed honeymoon.
Oh,
Some people don't even go.
don't even go. After all that work you put into getting married?
Yeah. So, I know you already told me, but where did you first go?
So we flew into Tokyo, or Haneda Airport, from LAX. So, well, going there was fine, because I think we left in the morning, got there in the afternoon, but so that wasn't too weird. It wasn't like coming back. But when we got there, everything was in Japanese, so and you had to go through through the checks and stuff like that, through immigration. That's what I was looking for.
Let me get
So we had to go through immigration, which is and we finally got to use our passports, because this is the first time we went like anywhere far I had used my passport once. I was to go to Canada, but that barely counts.
Oh, Canada.
Indeed. So this is first time I actually went somewhere really far, and I think this is the first time she used hers, and so
Ever?
she might have used it to Mexico, because I think she went on a cruise.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like party.
No, not that kind of Mexico. This is calm.
Tijuana.
Not that one. But so we landed in Haneda, and the first place we went to, the first part of it was in Tokyo, and we went to Disneyland Resort there, Disneyland Tokyo Resort. There you go. Nice plug. So we went to.
So you're like Ikimasho Disneyland, and
yes, that's perfect. Actually,
Ikimasho Disneylando.
That's weird. That's exactly how they said it. That's interesting. That's how did you know? That's exactly what they did. So we actually landed in the airport, and we took a bus to the resort, because it's kind of like its own area. Because we were staying the first two nights. Yes, first two nights on property at the Disneyland Hilton, Disney Hilton Bay. Yes, I think that's correct. Or you can swap one of those. Either Disney Hilton Bay or Hilton Disney Bay. It's one of those. It's those three words in some order. But
Are you? Is this your hint to tell me to look it up?
One of those is correct, but we stayed on property because otherwise we'd have to. There's a monorail that just goes around the property. Otherwise, you have to take another train from the outside.
Hilton Tokyo Bay Hotel.
There's no Disney in there at all, so I got that totally wrong.
Next to
swap
Disneyland.
that out. Although we were able to see, they have a ocean side, I think, and a park side, and we had a park side. So from our window, we could see Tokyo Disneyland, or we could see Space Mountain because it was lit up from our window, and I think we got our tickets on Expedia, so those worked out pretty well. Those were pretty nice tickets. But we were really tired when we came in, and we just but we had to wake up early because the next day we were going to Tokyo Disneyland.
Oh wow, that is weird.
What is that?
They're all Asian.
Oh, in cosplay? Well, but they're cosplay. They're not.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a cosplay day. Well, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, that is weird.
But Tokyo
I think I'm spoiled by Disneyland over here.
Well, really?
No.
No. Well, because theirs is a lot Tokyo Disneyland is a lot like ours here.
They have a Stitch floral?
Well, they probably had. They didn't have it there when I was there.
Stitch bucket.
They really like their Stitch there.
And Duffy.
And Duffy's almost only a thing there now. That's where it started, and that's where it continues. Although now it's all super expensive. It definitely was there. I was like, Ben, this is where Ben needs to come. Although, actually, no, that was the next day. But for Tokyo Disneyland, so we had to get up early to go, because they're like, well, I'd read the guides, and we only had one day at each park, so I was trying to maximize the amount of time. So
you read through all the links that he sent you, right?
Yes, and there was a 1 day guides that was kind of do this, to skip that, do this. So I had the guide, but any plan fails the moment it hits the battlefield, and that's kind of sort of what happened, because we woke up later than we wanted to. Because they say you want to go an hour before the park opens, and they also say don't go on a weekend or a holiday. So we ended up having to do it at the beginning of our trip, because otherwise, if we'd done it at the end, we would have been there on Saturday, Sunday, which would have been apparently the worst thing ever. because it's like Disneyland here, except on New Year's Eve. Is their
All the
weekend?
time.
Their weekend days are like that. Is what everyone kept saying. Like that was the one thing they kind of kept hammering home. Don't go on a weekend or a holiday if you want to do anything.
Wow.
But the park
Is
itself,
it the same size as Disneyland, or is it a little bit bigger?
I think it feels about the same size, but some of the walkways are a little wider. Like the areas you walk around, as you can see on the map, like the Tomorrowland section.
It looks
and
a little smaller.
It's the path itself, because that's also where the parade goes down too. So it's a little wider on that side. So like it's got some of its own special rides and versions of the rides. So we went on, like one of their rides is the Monsters Hide and Seek, I believe it's called, or something like that. But that's their big special ride for just Tokyo Disneyland. That and the Winnie the Pooh ride are the two rides. Are like, according to the guides, these are the rides you want to go on. Like, so we got like a fast pass. First thing, boom, fast pass to Monsters, and then we kind of moved our way around to Fantasyland and went on like Peter Pan, and which was kind of the same except maybe a little less rocky, a little more smooth. But it was kind of, I think it was kind of raining too, or no, it wasn't raining, but it was like a chance of rain, so we were kind of worried about that. But one thing we noticed when you go inside, or when you're inside the park walking around, like we went when they opened, but there was people like that were just sitting down, like they'd had their spot, like when people save spots for parades and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of looked like that, but there's no real sidewalks or anything, so it looked like they were just sitting in the middle of the walkway, because they don't have any, like, it's not like at Disneyland where everything's like, if you set up on the sidewalk or something, or at least on Main Street. So it just looked like there was people randomly sitting on the ground just after the park opened, which I didn't get at first. Like, why is that person just sitting there as if they're waiting for something to happen? Which I later on figured out, they must be waiting for the parade, which is kind of unnecessary here at Tokyo Disneyland because of what they do there.
Right.
Which was the best thing ever. Like, I mean, I told you about it, but it was like for the parades, they section it off where everyone, like, they rope it off. Like, you can go inside the roped area. It's not like for special VIPs, but if you're inside the rope area, which is like closer to the parade, like the first few rows, you have to sit down. And they enforce it too. Like, they're like, in their nice, very nice way, they tell you to sit down, please sit down, because everyone's sitting down, everyone's nice, so everyone
Organized.
can see. Exactly.
Orderly.
Then when they're filling the air in there, they're like, yes, come in here, and then go to the end and just sit down. So everyone can see. And if you want to stand, you can stand on the other side of the ropes if for whatever reason you feel like standing. But like, you don't have the problem here where you have like the parent with the kid on his shoulders. He can't see around him, and the kid can't see, because everyone else is standing in front of them.
Yeah, that's happened to me a few times. Like, standing, the show's like more than halfway done, and all of a sudden, kid on shoulders, like, no, I can't see anything. And you can't move around because you're stuck. There's
Can't
everyone
move.
around you.
Exactly. So it alleviates that, but I think it's because, at least where we were standing where we were for the parade, actually, no, we saw two parades there. We saw their daytime parade.
Happiness is here.
Correct. Yes. And we saw their nighttime parade.
Tokyo Disneyland Electrical Parade Dream Lights.
Yes. And we saw the Sky High Wishes, I think, too. Or maybe it might have been a different one.
Well, this is the current program.
I think we might have seen another one for that one, but we did see...
Because it was all the Christmas stuff that was up at that time, right?
Yeah, but the parade was the same. Like, it wasn't a Christmas parade.
Okay.
I think it was the Happiness is Here one. And the nighttime, but maybe the Wishes one, I think they had a projection on the castle kind of thing going on, which I don't think they had fireworks, at least when we were there that night, but they still did something. Because, like, I was like, the projection was okay, but I wanted to see some fireworks. But going back, so we go in there, and one of the things we were trying to do is trying to eat as many things as possible, because that was the other thing that in the guides they were like, oh, you gotta try this, you gotta try that. So we tried to stop at every stand, like every snack stand, or try to eat at every restaurant, although you can only eat so much food in a day. So like the first place we went to was it was in the Splash Mountain area. Actually, they built that area specifically for Splash Mountain, I think. Everything's themed and built around
Critter
Splash Mountain.
Country.
Exactly. Their Critter Country is really basically built for Splash Mountain. So it's themed. Like, we went to Grandma Sarah's kitchen, and it's themed after the possums. I think it's like a possum thing based around, like, the, I guess, Song of the South stuff.
Yeah.
But we were there for, like, right when they opened. I think it's more of a lunch-dinner place, but we're like, well, it was one of the places you should see. But we're like, well, there's no one here now. We're here. We're hungry. So we tried a few of the things. And I think that place is kind of like, it's really big and it's really cool looking because it's like you're inside a tree. But that's the thing about a lot of the stuff in Tokyo Disney. In general, it's like really themed, and they go way over the top. I mean, it's great to look at, even. Which, when I talk about the other park, that one's just ridiculous. But this one, like Grandma Sarah's Kitchen, it was good. We tried as much as possible, try as many things as possible.
Category Western cuisine.
I guess.
Menu description: meat patty, soup.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Restaurant menu, like PDF. Japanese language only.
Nope, none of that for you. But
I'm gonna click it anyway. Yep.
Did you get pictures?
That looks like Olaf.
See, they didn't have that frozen thing. Oh, these frozen things are new. So they have like a frozen plate.
See, you gotta keep going back. That's what it is. There's no stopping.
There's no stopping.
You must. That's why it's always crowded, because they're always bringing in new stuff.
It is pretty cool.
Food does look good, though. This
like, you'd have
menu.
a problem, I think, because there's so many things to try. And I tried to eat as many as possible.
Oh, yeah, I saw one of the pictures. You guys, like, had a Mickey plate. Is that something you keep? Or is that, like, a foam thing? Or
No, we were looking at the menu, and we were picking stuff off the menu. And then, like, in the case they showed the Mickey, like a Mickey plate with the ears, but it's for the kids set. So we bought a kids set specifically just so we could get the plate.
And they let you keep it.
They
it's
let you
meant
keep
to
it.
be
Yeah,
kept.
it's a little bit more pricey, but
So it's plastic.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we definitely we're like, oh, I got to get that. And one of the kickers is, like, we're accumulating stuff. It's the first day of our trip. And we got to go places, but I'm already like, let's get this plate. And like, this is going to go badly. We're already stocking stuff up. This can't be good.
So did you fill your luggage that first day?
By the time we left the hotel, after we went there and Tokyo Disney Sea and we were headed towards another place, we were already trying to sit on it to get it closed. It was not good. We're like, and we brought one suitcase, and we had our two backpacks, our like giant ones, like kind of like the / carry-on ones. They're just big enough for that, but even then, those were full of stuff too. Those were the stuff we just brought anyways, so it was like, oh no, this is not good. But, so yeah, we started there. And it was because we were hungry and it was pretty empty and such. So, I'll show you the plate that we got. Let's see.
Oh, it's a video.
Yeah, I took video of everything because I had my GoPro. I didn't have to. I just wore my camera like on the strap because I had this thing that attached the strap. So. Some of it is hard to look at because it's bouncing, or it's at an angle because I wasn't paying attention. But basically you can follow our travels all over Japan.
Is she speaking English to you? Kind of?
Sort of. Like, everyone speaks a little bit of English, like enough where if you kind of point at a map, they get what you're talking about, and then they'll point in a direction kind of thing. So, although I should have used the Google Translate, but I hadn't figured that out yet in the trip.
It wasn't until later when you left.
Later on, where I'm just like, I should use this. Actually, I was trying to see how far we could get without using it, and most of the time we were just like, where do we go? And like, it just skipped my mind to even pull it out. There were a few times where and it's easy, you just type it in and it translates it automatically. But I was trying to remember all the stuff we did. So yeah, we were spending a lot of money too, because we want to try everything. So yeah, the food was good. Good there. We got our first, I guess, plate thing there. Let's see if I have these here. I think these in order.
Then popcorn was like a big thing too over there, right?
Yes, popcorn is a pretty big thing, like, because they have so many flavors there, but they're not all in one place. They're like, every time you see a popcorn stand, you got to go over to it to see what it sells. So it's always exciting to see a stand. So when we were there, we tried
cuttlefish.
Not so much cuttlefish.
Octopus.
I was trying to think if they had it and we just didn't try it, but I
takoyaki flavored popcorn.
don't think that's how that happened. I hope. But the first one we tried was the honey. They had honey popcorn. It was right across from the Winnie the Pooh one. That's why it made sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It was themed. That was the first one we tried. It was okay. It wasn't like soup. Like that's another thing about like the Japanese foods in general. They're not super flavorful. They tend to lean towards the more bland. So the honey was like, you could tell it tasted like
touch
honey.
Of honey.
Right. It's like, I get it. It's not overly honey. It's not like they took a honey bottle and just squeezed it over your popcorn.
Not like how Americans do it.
That's how
America.
Yeah, that's why we don't do it here, because we'd probably take it overboard. Because America.
Well, you already see the caramel kettle corn or whatever. And they just dump loads of sugar into that. Because it won't taste right any other way.
It is true.
You can smell the sweetness. You smell it and you start developing cavities.
So everything there was more subtle. Well, I was just talking about the popcorn because like I tried some over at the other park too, but they had a black pepper popcorn. It's kind of like the...
Is that pepper instead of salt on there?
Well, it's kind of like the black pepper chips. Like, or the salt and pepper chips, like the ones that come in like the kettle bag. Like that. Very peppery.
Very, what?
And, I mean, it was weird. And she didn't eat it because she didn't like it. But I'm like, it tastes like those salt and pepper chips, or like the ones with the black pepper chips that they have, that they sell. It tastes exactly like that. So if you like those, you'll like these. They also had curry popcorn.
Go on.
That was not good. I didn't even. I tried it because her friend had said when we posted about the popcorn, she's like, "Oh, my favorite's the curry popcorn." I'm like, "Okay." So eventually, later on in the night, we ended up finding a curry popcorn. It's like, "Well, we gotta try it." I'm like, it was weird. It was kind of like if someone put curry powder onto popcorn.
So it's exactly
what you think it was be, but I mean, would you imagine just eating curry powder without, actually preparing it in, like, adding water or anything? Like,
all the time.
Well, if that's you, then you found your popcorn kind of thing. But yeah, I was like, this is not so good. But I guess there's a popcorn for everyone. And I think they had like salted popcorn, which I assume was regular popcorn.
This popcorn is assaulted.
But we didn't get them. Like, is that just popcorn? Like, we could probably skip that one because I'm pretty sure it's just popcorn. So, like I said, we tried everything there. But when we were in Disneyland, we went to like Peter Pan. Went on Peter Pan and kind of because it was still empty in that section of the Fantasyland, and I'd heard it might get crowded. Kind of like here, our Disneyland here gets. The Peter Pan gets super crowded,
right?
Like forever, like unless you go early or it's the last ride you go on, kind of thing. But we were trying to figure out. I was like, okay, what do we want to go on, kind of thing. So we went on that. We went on the Haunted Mansion, which was still the holiday version. So it's the Jack Skellington version.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
Is it just like the one over here?
No, there's. Well, their mansion looks different, and
it's in Fantasyland.
And it's in Fantasyland too. It's just like right across. It's right across the way from Peter Pan. You could see it from Peter Pan.
That's weird.
It's like, let's go over there. There's a giant scary castle over there in the corner. But I mean, it's nice. Like I said, everything they make there is really nice. And it just looks really good and everything. So we did that, but it's like it's kind of the same, like the Haunted Mansion one. It's kind of the same, but still different and in Japanese too. So if you don't speak Japanese, then it's even a stranger experience. See if I. Now it's been so long because I went in December. Now it feels like forever ago. Since I went. It wasn't even that long ago. Let's see what else is there.
It's barely over a month. Come on, man.
I know, right?
Come on.
I'm getting old. I'm becoming an old man. I don't
Play
know.
Macarena again.
Are you trying to make me feel older all of a sudden?
No, then I'd play Achy Breaky Heart.
We gotta go further. We gotta go back.
Tequila.
There we go. Let's see what else did I go on? I think I took video of the Haunted Mansion one too. Of course, it's all dark, so
it's funny because they don't have Frontierland. It's called Western Land.
There is no frontiers in Japan.
What?
Let's see. We did that.
Frontier.
Frontierland.
Nani Frontier.
Oh, okay.
Western Land. So desu ne.
What else is that? Okay. Oh, right. The Monsters Inc. ride was the other one. That's their kind of marquee ride for that park.
In Tomorrowland?
That's in Tomorrowland. It's the kind of the big ride, and it's kind of like
the rockets, the original rockets, Star Jets.
Oh, they're gonna close permanently
this October. Got to go back. Did you ride on that?
No. We had one day. Gotta maximize the time. It's like we got something like that at home. We can't go there. We didn't go on the Stitch Encounter.
Well, we used to have something like that at home.
Right. Okay. Well,
used to.
We have a ride that spins you around in a circle, sort of like that.
Dumbo.
Right. The same idea,
Astro Orbiters.
But not quite that one. Wait, what's up? What's above this? Let's see the list so I can tell you what we did go on.
Star Tours Adventures Continue, which looks exactly the same as what
we did go on that because it had a short line and it was exactly the same. Although the queue was a little different. Like when you get to the area, like on ours, where they just tell you, "Oh, go down to this aisle, go down that aisle." It's a bit bigger in there. But other than that, pretty much the same ride. You get the same experience.
Stitch Encounter.
Did not go on it. Although, it's only because it's all in Japanese and it's all spoken, so we wouldn't have got a lot out of it.
But you get to see Stitch.
I would have liked to do it because of that, but one day. So we had to make sacrifices. And that one, unfortunately, because we're like, well, we might not get much out of it. Let's keep moving. So we didn't get to go on it. Did I go on Space Mountain?
Space Mountain.
We did go on Space Mountain. I just don't remember it that well. Actually, no. I think it was pretty much the same as ours, except it had... Yes, it was the same as ours, but it had no music. Which is the lamest thing ever. Because the music is my favorite part of it. So, but it was like it was turn for turn exactly the same. I've been on it so many times that I know it. And I could hum the music in my head. Both versions. The original one and then the newer one. But I could tell, she turned to me, was like, is that like ours? And I'm like, and then drop, and turn. Yeah, it's ours. It's just completely silent. Which I'm like, it's like, it's 50% of the experience. But we did go on it, because, gotta see. And yeah, so that's my report for that one. This is still better. What was that?
Japanese Buzz Lightyear Astro Blaster.
We did not go on that. Only because I'm pretty sure it was like ours, so we skipped it.
Monsters Inc. Ride and Go Seek.
Yes. It's like Superstar Limo.
I thought that's what our ride was.
Oh, right. Sorry, I confused those. It's like Monsters Inc. Superstar Limo. Actually, it's a dark ride, but they give you these flashlights, kind of like, but they're attached to the ride, kind of like Astro Blasters, except it's kind of got like a laser sensor, I think, or it's got some kind of sensor when you aim the light at targets, that things happen basically. So like you're going through basically the Monsters Inc. storyline. It takes you through the city and through Monsters Inc. kind of thing, and you're flashing your light. You're like holding your light to make things happen. I think you get points for stuff too.
Flash things for a reaction.
So you flash your things, and you get things to happen. Is what happens when you flash anything.
And they lived happily ever after.
And it was okay. It was cool, but it was really quick. Like you just kind of truck along, like, oh, it's done. But I mean, it's interesting. Like how it works is pretty interesting. But you're just basically shining the light at stuff and making stuff happen. Kind of like a shooting gallery where, like, if you aim your light here, something will happen. Like something will pop up or open. So in that way, it's cool. But I think we had a fast pass for it, so we were able to get on later on, like right on. But if I had to wait in line, we're like, that's okay. Anyway, but it is the marquee one. What else was there on there?
Well, that's it for Tomorrowland.
Okay, so
and we start at the top, or
top.
Okay.
Let's see if I.
So this is their main street, which is a covered main street. They call it the World Bazaar,
which we hit up at the end of the night, like you do at Disneyland. Like you kind of like save that
shoppings.
Although by the time we got there, shops were closing. It's kind of like where the Emporium's still open, but the other shops are closed.
Yeah,
kind of the same thing here. So we still did shopping because Disneyland, once again, right at the beginning of our trip. Nice. So we're like already loading up on souvenirs. That would bite us in the ass later, or not too long later, like two days later. But we didn't take the bus, or we didn't get to check out the Penny Arcade because we kind of blew right through the Grand Bazaar because we're like, we gotta ride stuff, no time to really hang out.
Yeah.
So we didn't really get to go and do that stuff.
So then there's Adventureland, where they have the Western River Railroad.
We did not ride the railroad, but we did go on Pirates, which was kind of the same-ish. They even have their own Blue Bayou.
Huh.
It does the same thing right at the beginning. Like it goes past the restaurant, just like here. There's a few things they're a little different, and they don't have it PC for the chasing scene. Like it's like the original chase scene where like the men are chasing the women, and then the one woman's chasing the man. There's no like food or anything. Oh, I don't even think they're there anymore, right? They just took them out. I don't think they even have them running through there anymore. They're just gone. But for a while, they had them with like food or something, like they had stolen something.
Oh yeah.
And then now they're just gone. Like they just took them out. They're there, like just like I remember it back when I was younger.
Yeah, that's usually my go-to ride when I'm tired.
I think it was a short line, and we were passing by, and they're like, "Oh, it's like 5 minutes," and we just went right on, because it's just like here. If it's got a line, it's pirates. Never mind.
Yeah. It's like there's no line at the end of the night. You just walk on, and 20 minutes later,
there you go. We just need to sit down for a
I'm
little
rested
while.
now.
But yeah, it's basically the same. So if it had, so yeah, it was basically the same. Nothing too crazy.
Jack Sparrow and all.
Yep, I think actually. No, I don't remember. I remember I was resting at that time. It's a resting ride.
Yeah.
But I think so. I think it had that, and it was basically the same. Jungle Cruise. We did not go on Jungle Cruise, but it had a really long line, so
It might have had funny Japanese jokes. Come on.
I'm pretty sure it was Japanese jokes. It was. I kind of wanted to, but
You're sitting there, everyone's laughing, and like, ha ha ha.
yes, I definitely do that. Or just smile the whole time. Just continue to smile like an idiot. Like, I totally got that.
Like the skipper points at you and says like some foreigner joke in Japanese.
And
everyone laughs at you, and you're like, huh?
So basically, when we have foreigners here, and I get it.
yeah.
I see how it is now. Oh, how the tides have turned. But we didn't get to go on it because we had a long line, so I was bummed. But we were so busy, I didn't really have a chance to, gotta go.
They still have the Swiss Family Treehouse. It's not Tarzan's Treehouse.
We did enough walking where we didn't feel like we needed to do more.
Stairs! Stairmaster.
Screw that noise.
So you decided to sit down
Have a chicken leg.
into the tiki room. The enchanted tiki room. For
Yes.
some R&R.
No. I went there specifically to see that show.
For some R&R.
Yeah.
So what's different about this? It's not just the tiki room, is it?
It's not just the tiki room anymore.
Oh, do tell.
It's a tiki room advanced. Why? Because it has Stitch in it. I can't really explain it because it was also in Japanese. I think there was a way to see it in English. Like someone said it, but I couldn't figure out. I thought it'd be somewhere, but even without knowing what it was saying, it's like, oh, there's shenanigans going on here. And at a certain point during the end of the show, near the finale to the show, he kind of comes up in the middle, like an animatronic Stitch is there, and he's talking back and forth with the birds, and he sings, and they do songs and stuff, and
In Japanese?
in Japanese.
Wow.
And even though I didn't know what I was saying, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. They should totally bring this over to our tiki room.
What does Stitch sound like in Japanese?
I can't even. I wish I could, but it was basically.
Try.
I wouldn't even do it justice. Be like, why would they want that here? That's awful. I'd be hurting my own. But you could probably actually look it up. I'm actually curious if they have a video of it, like just on YouTube. Somebody else recorded. I think I recorded it, but it was like on a potato style. Like I was really far back. I didn't know what I was aiming at.
Stitch! Watashi wa Stitch!
You weren't even there, and that was perfect. And you nailed it. I really liked it. I mean, but it's because I'm a fan. So
As
that
am I.
this is more of a personal thing. Like anyone who's not really into Lilo and Stitch would probably be like, you could skip it. Actually, they did say, oh, you could skip that. Like that was part of the guide. I'm like, screw that noise. That's getting put on the list because it definitely is. Because we, like in front of it they had another place to eat, like another snack. They had teriyaki leg, like chicken leg, just one single chicken leg that I guess was marinated in teriyaki.
I think I saw that picture and like that looks like the smallest chicken leg ever.
Well, it's not like the turkey leg size stuff. It's pretty small.
It almost was like, it looked like it was almost like buffalo wing size, what we have here.
Slightly
Maybe
bigger than that, but I see what you're talking about. Yeah, it's bigger than that. It's kind of like a chicken leg kind of thing, bigger than the other one. But they really know how to eat. They eat. Everyone, all the Japanese people eat everything on the chicken. Like they're just the bone. Like
I thought it was like bone too.
they give it their best effort because I ate it. I was like okay, like I still had some, the fatty part left, like it's not so good part, but not everybody there.
It's like, how much this cost?
Just cleaned them off, and I was like, I just talking to Karen, like, I don't think we're doing this right. We better throw this away before they start looking at us all weird, like tourists or something.
You can eat that.
Basically, I was like, wow, we really have wasted this, but I was like, I don't want to eat any of this stuff. It's kind of the not good bits, but
this food is wasted on you.
Kind of. But it was right in front of that one, so.
The Enchanted Tiki Room, Stitch presents Aloha I Komomai.
It was awesome. I would definitely go back again. 10 out of 10. Would do again. Woo. But yeah, you should see the video. I'm looking at it. It takes me back. He's playing an ukulele too. Come on
now.
Come on, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He's singing.
Playing the ukulele.
Not for everyone. So that's why they probably said you could skip it, but you can't skip it.
I can't skip
You can't skip it. Okay, sorry. I got a little caught up there.
On to Frontierland. Western Land.
Did not really spend any time here. We passed through it, but by the time we got here...
You're like, we're from there.
Although I would have liked to see the country bear.
In Japanese.
That would have been awkward. But they were doing the Christmas show, too, so... I was like, Actually, it didn't come up. We were just too busy. We didn't even get a chance to... By the time we were going through Western Land, it was dark. So it was at the end of the night. So a lot of the stuff, like... The riverboat wasn't running anymore, neither was the Tom Sawyer.
Twain.
And I think Big Thunder was closed. So we couldn't even go on it. Yeah.
What?
We were out of luck. No
But
Thunder.
you did do Splash Mountain in Critter Country, though, right?
No. I was with the wrong crowd to do that. At least 50% of the crowd did not want to go on Splash Mountain.
But there were only two. Oh.
At least 50% was a no vote. And since it was our honeymoon, that other 50% is very important.
So the Explorer canoes,
They were already...
Beaver Brothers?
I didn't know where that was, actually.
Next to Splash Mountain.
Well, it's like Splash Mountain stands out the most. Like the canoes are kind of hidden, like you walk down the path. Because all there is in Critter Country, because the country bears aren't there and Winnie the Pooh's not there, it's literally just built for Splash Mountain and those canoes. But it's mostly built for Splash Mountain. They built a land around that ride.
Wait, did I miss Winnie the Pooh?
Nope, it's in Fantasyland. You haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. Like, what?
Yeah, but it's not in Critter Country. So
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, it's just built. They literally built it, themed it all around Splash Mountain, which we didn't go on. But we did go in the Possum restaurant because they said go there, and it was okay. And you can get a plate, which I did.
Yeah, plate.
Which we can't eat off of now. We can only display it. No, wait, no, that's you guys. We can eat off it. We didn't though. We can't eat off it. We can't. Is that what you're telling me now? You can't eat off that.
You're gonna ruin the design on the plate.
I got an extra. You mean an extra to put up?
You can look at it while you eat off a regular plate.
Off a paper plate.
Pretend you're eating off of it.
I just put these 3 plates together, these 2 smaller plates and this one bigger plate next to each other, just so I could simulate what it was like.
I imagine it to be awesome.
It was the greatest thing ever, I think. Okay, so let's see, Fantasyland. Alice's Tea Party. We didn't go on there, but it's teacups, so.
I was going to ask you if that one spins faster or not.
Well, if it did, we weren't going to be the ones to find out. Because if we did go on there, she would have been like, "Don't spin it. It's our honeymoon. Don't spin it."
Faster.
Yeah, I would have had to deal with the
Hayaku.
fallout of that, so that wouldn't have been good. There would be no winners there, only losers. It's a small world in Japanese, obviously, and that's the main one, because everything's in different languages in the small world because they're saying it in whatever language you're in. But when you get to the end, as opposed to being everyone singing in English, everyone sings in Japanese, and the line to get on, or the queue, goes inside the ride, and it's this huge room, and that's where you load onto the boats. So it's not like ours where you load on the outside.
It sounds like Walt Disney World. How?
It might be
Yeah.
where you go inside and you load up inside, but the load up it looks the same. It's just inside as opposed to outside. There's 2 sides. You go on, and they have the people in the booths. Same as that, but other than that, basically the same ride, except in Japanese and every other language.
It's a small world after all.
Where are you playing this?
Google Translate.
Fair enough. What's next?
Oh. The Carousel.
Carousel's a carousel. We skipped it.
Snow White's Adventures.
I think we missed it. I didn't even see it.
Cinderella's Fairy Tale Hall.
I think that's actually in the castle or
Is
something.
that a meet and greet? Looks like a meet and greet.
I think so. I think we skipped it.
Dumbo the Flying Elephant.
Dumbo is Dumbo.
Pinocchio's Daring Journey.
I missed it.
Peter Pan's Flight.
Did go on that. Kind of the same, though. Kind of the same deal. Although there's a few scenes that are different, and I think it lasts a little longer, too. Not by much, because Peter Pan is pretty short.
Way short.
So it was
It
slightly
clocks in at
longer.
under a minute, I think.
Not the line, though.
But once you are loaded and then you go, if you hit the timer, I think you finish before the minute's up.
I wouldn't doubt it. It felt
Actually,
like,
I don't remember now, but
I think they might have had maybe an extra scene, or just rearrange how the scene looked. So it was maybe it hit the minute.
have you gone to the one over here in Anaheim? Since they redid it and put projections and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So still different.
Yeah, it's different than
Okay.
that. Like I think it has different animatronics in it. A few different, but yeah.
Okay.
But it's still like I wouldn't want to wait for it. Like I wouldn't want to wait for ours. I'd go on it, but it'd be like, I don't get it. It's good, but it's not that good.
So these last 3 on this list seem the most gotta do it. Just because.
We didn't get to do the Philhar magic.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly the same as in Walt Disney World.
Oh, they have one there?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know what it was. The only thing I knew was from the game I was playing.
3D theater show, music.
Oh, okay. So, okay. I'm kind of glad that
It was
I-
interesting. It was fun.
Well, I guess I'll get a spin on it when I go to Walt Disney World again in English.
Not in the summertime, though.
Okay. What?
Death in the summer. Just
What?
humid and hot. And
Isn't it inside?
yeah, but you're walking outside the whole time. It's like you're in
Oh, you mean just going
The weather.
to- Oh, you just meant not this ride, but just going there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You went
in
into the
summer-
winter though, so that was good, right?
The winter is fine. It wasn't even cold at all. It was the... Yeah, I didn't even need to bring those heavy jackets.
Pro
As a
tip.
waste of space.
I know all about wasting space. I did it all over Japan. Wasted space. Like half the stuff I didn't need to bring. But moving back up, Haunted Mansion. It was, like I said, it was the Nightmare Before Christmas theme. Slightly different, but still the same notes for the most part. Like there's a cemetery at the end when you go through that part there. Just slight differences, but the core ride is still the same as any Haunted Mansion. Although there's no elevator for it. So that was a little weird too. Because I don't know if the rooms stretched. I can't remember now. It might not have stretched. You might have just done the pictures and the thing above you. But you just kind of go through the door and you just go through the other door.
Yeah, because Disneyland, it serves a purpose. You're in
Right.
a real elevator that takes you down so you can walk underneath the berm to get on the ride, the show building which is behind. And then it sends you back and you go up that escalator to come back out.
Right.
And in Florida, they wanted to keep that same effect of the stretching room. So they have the room, but you just kind of go in there, they hit the effect, and then the top of the room stretches upwards. So you're not going anywhere, you're just standing watching the roof rise up. And then they open the other door to let you walk down the hallway.
Maybe it was that. Because I remember it was weird. Because it didn't feel right. And I was like, this is weird.
Am I moving? No.
But yeah, other than that, for the most part, the ride's pretty much the same. With slightly different. Since I hadn't been on this year's or last year's version, like is it always the same every year? The decorations for the most part.
This year they added in the Sally animatronic, different gingerbread houses every year,
Right.
and then just kind of tweaking some decorations throughout. But for the most part, it's the same.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was kind of the same. So, yeah, it might have been slightly different for there specifically because I don't think I remember seeing everything here, but it was about the same. And finally, Pooh's Honey Hunt, which is not in Critter Country. It's actually in Fantasyland here, which kind of makes sense because it's kind of like takes place in the storybook kind of thing. Much better than our Winnie the Pooh ride, actually. Really cool. Like it's trackless, which makes you look at the ground more often than you'd think because it just looks like a carpeted area, and you're just in this car that just knows where to go.
Self-driving.
Yeah. And they have like one, like it's really cool because it like shuffles you and like another car around and kind of almost random setups. Like not everyone goes to the same place because it's trackless, but then you go into this one big room where it's supposed to be like, I guess the Windy Day one, I think it is. That story, the Winnie the Pooh story, it's like the Windy Day.
The blustery day.
Blustery Day, thank you. And I think it's that one, but everyone's being shuffled around, like you're moving.
You're being blown around.
Yeah, and you look around, it's just like, it looks like, we're going to crash into people and stuff, and how is this working? What's the black magic behind this?
Luigi's Festival of the Dance.
And it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's kind of pretty cool and lets you out into the buy Pooh stuff area. So
The gift shop.
So we did. We did. More stuff.
More poo.
More poo for the bags. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it was, and that's one of their specific rides.
Yeah.
We actually didn't go into Toontown because it's mainly like our Toontown except for a few changes, but
Yeah, it looks like they have Gadget's Go Coaster, which looks the same. Goofy's Paint and Playhouse, which over here was Bounce House, and it's closed. And then Chippendale's Treehouse, which is the ball pit, closed as well. Here.
wow, Toontown is.
And then they have Toon Park, which we also have over here. Donald's Boat, same thing. We have that. Just run around and explore. Minnie's house, same thing. There's no Mickey's house. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin looks the same.
That was the other one. They said, well, you could go on that one, but if you've been on it, it's kind of the same. So
Same.
we skipped it because gotta keep to the schedule. I feel like you would have put together a better schedule. Mine's was very slapdash, i.e., well, these are the rides we want to go on, and if we see anything to eat, we got to get. That was a general rule.
So, did you spend more time eating than riding?
There's a good chance that we did. I was trying to think of everything we ate at that park. Because we ate at... Did we eat at 2 restaurants? Yes. I think we ate at the Possum one, and we ate at... I want to say we ate at the Queen's...
Fantasyland?
I believe so. Let's see if it's here.
Westernland. Fantasyland.
Queen of Hearts Banquet Hall. We ate there. And we ate at the Pizza Port, or whatever their version of it is.
In Tomorrowland.
Space Place. No, not that one.
That one's closing too.
Pan Galactic Pizza Port. That's what it was. Because that's where they had
the weird pizza.
Well, we went in there originally because that's where they had the alien mochi things. That thing. That's where they sold them, or that's one of the places. So we went in there to get that because they had different flavors inside. Each one was a different flavor. So she really wanted that, and I'm like, well, we're here, so why don't I try a pizza?
And that came in the alien container, right?
Right. Although ours was themed. It was a Christmas one. So it was kind of like the one they have, except it didn't come with that much. That one's like stacked. Ours only came with 3. I was like, looks like it has 9. Wow. But they were good.
I think that's just for the photo.
Oh, okay. They were good, but they were too nice to eat. And I tried the double sausage pizza, which I don't know if it contained sausage, but it had a lot of things on it. Like there's a pesto, there's olives, there's, I guess, what sausage is.
For 50 extra yen, it comes with a drink, so with 50 extra yen, you can change a soft drink to a sparkling tapioca drink.
Which I did. It was like a...
Peach?
Yeah, I think so. Like because it was just kind of like soda.
Oh, there it is. That's when you got.
Oh yeah, except our souvenir case was different. It has a Christmas theme, so he's wearing like a Santa thing on the bottom.
Little green man power. Google Translate never change.
But they were good. But like I said, too much it
says lemon on here.
Well, I think the flakes that are on top were kind of really like they might have been sour or something like that. And then it has like little tapioca balls, like not like boba, but like smaller ones that you could drink with a normal straw.
Tiny balls.
Yes, tiny balls. So I tried to get as much as possible, and that was one of the things. That was another thing. We got the alien thing, and it's a bigger container. Has to go somewhere. So we're like, can we take it apart? Can we like... it was awful. It was just like, how are we going to fit this in here?
We need to bring one empty suitcase.
That's a story for later.
Bubble wrap.
There's more. This is day 1, and we're already overstuffed. And we were there for 2 weeks, so it was bad. It was poor planning on my part because I didn't want to be rolling around in an extra suitcase because we were taking the trains everywhere. That was dumb. We needed the room. So I blame myself. And no one would blame anyone but me, so that's easy. That was easy. But yeah, so we ate a lot of stuff. I can't remember if we had anything else specifically. Like, do we have... I think we had dinner at the Queen of Hearts place. So let's see. Do you have the menu for that one?
Queen of Hearts.
There was a lot of places to eat.
Yep.
Like, I think we missed since we were running around. We were just eating at the snack stands mostly. So because we're like, we don't have time to sit down for a restaurant. We just got to go.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Oh, because I think we wanted to catch something. That's why we had to kind of rush through this because this was dinner. But we were like, oh, we wanted to go on one more thing, and the park was closing. I think it was maybe the honey ride we went on last. So I think we might have got the. Did we get that one?
Which one?
I think we got the flank steak.
Frank steak.
It's terrible, but it was good. It was fine.
Frank steak. That's what it says.
Stop it. They don't know that it says that. You're just making it up.
And I bet all their cameras go crick.
You're a bad man, sir.
I am just reading what Google is presenting me.
I think we got that and something else. Like it might have been the hamburger, but I'm see a little lower though. I think it might have been the hamburger though. Yeah, I think we got the hamburger.
Seafood fry. I think they mean tempura, right?
Yes. But their hamburgers there in general in Japan are different. They're not like ours because it's more like a meatloaf.
That is a small menu.
Yeah, it's just like a few, and it's kind of like.
But you hear the words banquet hall and you think, oh, maybe it's an American thing.
It's like Plaza Inn style, where it's like a cafeteria where you just go through. It's like you tell them what you want, they give you.
Where's the fried chicken?
This ain't that Plaza Inn. Although apparently
garlic flavored rotisserie chicken.
Well, in Japan, it's probably hint of garlic-ish. We didn't get it, but I'm pretty sure, as everything else, it's not too much
the
flavor.
Chicken while staring at a bulb of garlic.
There we go. That's probably closer to what it is. It probably just tastes like bland chicken with the thought of garlic. You think about garlic while you're eating the chicken. And hopefully you can trick your mouth into believing there's garlic in that chicken.
Mind over matter.
Yes. But yeah, that's
I think that's just true of Japanese food compared with other cultures anyways. They go light on a lot of the savory flavors, spices.
Well, even there's sweet stuff too is the same way. Like it looks super sweet. Like you look at it and it's like, oh, that's going to be really sweet.
It's mildly sweet.
It's mildly sweet. And it's like, oh, it's all in the presentation. You're like, oh, this would be super. Oh, okay, that's mild.
You ever have a Tokyo banana?
Is that a euphemism?
Think of a Twinkie, but Japanese, so it'd be smaller and have banana cream filling inside.
Okay.
And they only sell at the airports and it's really expensive. But it's so good. It actually tastes like banana.
Well, don't we have the banana Twinkies, though? Is it like that, except smaller?
No, it's way better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured it has a low bar.
It's not a Disney thing, it's a Japanese thing. Because usually, you know how they come back with those, like, wafer crackers whenever, like, I guess if you know someone who's Japanese and they come back from Japan, they'll bring stuff like that and pass it around.
Ah. We definitely did that because we were in the department store way later on in the trip. And there was just, like, all these sweet, like, small stands with that like, fancy, that all sold fancy sweet. Actually, it was this giant department store / is where I went to the Disney store, but it had, like, 9 floors or something and a basement.
Basically like their version of Downtown Disney?
No, this isn't here. This was when we were in Kyoto.
Oh, okay.
So this is later on. No, we didn't get to go to that area, though. What I think was the Downtown Disney area, because it was separate from everything else. Like, it's not connected to Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea. But yeah, look at all these places. Like, I kind of walked past it. So I didn't get to eat at all these places, or any of them.
Yeah, if I was planning out this trip, I'd totally have a printout of every menu and highlight things, and then put them in a spreadsheet.
You'd need another day. You definitely probably want to do 2 days.
Just to eat.
Right. Or spread it out, because we were pretty full, like, between the popcorn, because you can only eat so much popcorn.
Yeah, I'd pass on the popcorn. I'd only go to get the buckets.
Right. But you gotta try the popcorn, because it's different flavors. You gotta try them all. Or no, you don't really, because we skipped one. I can't even remember which one it was. But I was like, I can't eat any more of that. But yes, there's a lot to eat. You can almost spend a day eating and then a day going on stuff. Half a day. But you'll figure it out when you go. You'll have a spreadsheet. You'll stick to the spreadsheet.
Stick to it.
Yeah, mine was definitely more like, what do we need to go on and what do we need to see, and we'll just make it up from there. But it was cool. Yeah, you'd like it. And I think, but it's a lot like ours, except for a few rides. So if you had the choice to go to one or the other park, I'd say go to the other park if you had to choose. Like, you could spend one day here and then 2 days at the other park. Because their park hopper is a little weird. Like, your first 2 days you can only spend... You have to buy, like, a 3-day pass to get a park hopper. Otherwise, you have to buy... Your first day... The first 2 days you have to pick a park. So you usually probably pick one park and then pick the other park. And then the third day is when you can actually park hop between them. So you have to buy a 3-day pass before you get a park hopper.
But you can only park hop on that last day?
Anything after the first 2 days. So you get a 4 or 5 day, then your 3rd, 4th, and 5th days are park hoppers. Although they're not like here.
So how close is it to each other? Is it
they're
like...
not. You have to take the monorail.
Huh.
Well, you don't have to, but there's a monorail that runs between them, so you probably would take the monorail.
So would it be like the distance when you leave the front gate of Disneyland to the Disneyland Hotel then? In terms of distance? Or further?
Let's see.
Paradise Pier Hotel.
From
the convention center.
No, it's like to get to the monorail from like the Disneyland. It's like right outside the park is the monorail, and then it drops you off right in front of the park, the other park. But it's like 2 stops away. It's like, I think it's like the hotel, then a park, then a hotel, then a park kind of thing.
Okay.
Mainly, like ours was like right at where our stop was when we got on. The first stop was Tokyo Disney Sea, and then it came around. I believe, to the entrance to the monorail from outside. Like, there's a station that you get on, that you get off of outside the to get to the parks, and you have to transfer to the monorail. And then after that, I think it takes you to I think it's Tokyo Disney, and then to the hotels. So maybe it's 3 stops. I can't remember now. But I mean, it's not inconvenient, but it's not as convenient as Anaheim, where you just like jumping between parks. But you had a park hopper when you were at Walt Disney World?
Yes.
So probably something like that, except instead of taking the bus around. Or did you take the bus, or did you take the monorail, or did you even park hop?
We parked hop on first day, but I think that was only more of a necessity because you try to get the ticket, and I think we started off at I think it was Epcot, and then they told us to go to Hollywood Studios.
They told you to?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they weren't able to process the tickets. Because we went to the back entrance, and they're like, well, you have to go to the front entrance, but it's closer to go to Hollywood Studio than to wait for the bus and come around the front. Like, oh, okay. And there's less people there, too. I'm like, all right, well, let's just go do that.
Ah, okay, I get it now. So we look at the hotels now.
No, I was trying to figure out which one you were at.
Right.
The stops, I mean.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking at these hotels, and the Celebration one is the new one. They just opened that one, Celebration Hotel. It's the value type. But I don't know how much of a value. And the Miracosta is connected, I believe, to Tokyo Disney Sea. Like it's right over the where where like the main street and the Grand Bazaar is, like that area where you're leaving the park and they're trying to get you with the shopping and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's like the first floor, and then the hotel's above that. So as you're walking out the park, you look up and you're basically looking into people's rooms.
Wow.
Actually, they're staring at you as you leave the park. Like, huh?
Yeah, like, look at those
Look at the poor people.
peasants.
Kind of thing. I was just like, huh, that's interesting. But I guess if you're staying in the hotel, then you get in early too. So you can just take the elevator down and you get in like 30 minutes early or 15 minutes, something like that.
So the Maricosta's at the Disney Sea one?
Yeah, Tokyo Disney Sea Hotel Maricosta.
And then the Disneyland Hotel one is the one that's attached to the...
I don't think it's attached. It's like right across the way, I think.
Okay.
From there. Kind of more so like ours, where that's right over there. I don't know where the ambassador is, though. It might be around there, too. Okay, that's helpful.
Oh, okay.
Huh. So see where it says Bayside Station?
Yeah.
That's where we were. Like, that street that's right in front of it, that street right there, if you just take it across to the left a little bit more, we're in that area. Like, across the street from the Bayside Station. So we're, like, there.
Oh, here.
Yeah, so you could see, and ours was facing Tokyo Disney. So we could see Tokyo Disneyland from our window. Because it, like, curves around. So, like, we were, like, right in the middle. So it was really cool.
Wow,
And
that Celebration Hotel is far off.
I didn't even know it was that far out.
It's like, it's the value one. Why? It's far away.
It's not even on property anymore.
It's off property.
That's kind of a stretch, because I didn't look into it.
But you're by the ocean.
Well, most of the stuff's by the ocean.
Well, trying to spin it in a good way.
I didn't even know it was that far away. And I don't even think it's the cheapest option either. I think ours might have been cheaper.
It says value.
Value for the Disneyland ones. Because these are actually Disneyland properties, even though that's weird that that's a Disneyland property and it's not on property. The, I guess, hotel list? Huh. Oh, official.
Official hotels. Sheraton.
It was right next to ours.
Hilton Tokyo Bay.
See, like it stretches. We were like right in the middle of that thing too.
It's curved.
Curved, looking towards the park. It's nice
Is
too.
there a map? Oh, there's no map. Yeah, okay.
Of where the other places are.
Well, where they're in relation to each other, but yeah.
But yeah, because you have a Hilton thing, right? Like you have Hilton, although they made us sign
Hilton
up.
honors.
Yeah.
The points club.
Although
thing.
it's weird because I think it's free and they automatically signed us up. So I'm like, okay, so.
Well, you get to use it at, or is it like Hilton or any Hilton properties like the Hampton Inn?
No, it wasn't
Which is where we like
bad.
to stay. You
It
get
was-
points. Points.
It was nice, but it was just
Free
like
hotel nights.
if it's a program, then. But we didn't have to sign up for it. It was just almost automatic, basically.
It's the rewards card,
Right.
club card thing. It's free.
Exactly. We didn't have to pay for it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I think one of the benefits was
They track you.
an extra hour of checkout. Like we would have had checkout at 11, but we got to check out at 12. I think.
Sleep in longer, right?
Yes.
Did you?
Well, when we finally could that last day, because we had to wake up even earlier the next day to go to Tokyo Disney Sea, and we're already freaking tired to begin with. So by the time we left Tokyo Disney Sea the next day, we're using all these hours. But that was actually kind of the whole thing for the trip. If we didn't have to wake up to go somewhere, we used most of that time to sleep. Because we were freaking tired. And that was just the trip to get there. It just wore us down. I think we needed time to relax. But yeah, Tokyo Disney Sea. Awesome.
You want to start with the attractions or the food?
We can start with the food. I don't know if we... Did we... Okay, what do we eat? We didn't eat a lot of the restaurants. I think we... Did we eat it... I don't know if we ate any of the restaurants.
So let me see. There's Mediterranean Harbor.
Oh.
The American Waterfront. Port Discovery. Lost River Delta. Arabian Coast. Mermaid Lagoon. Mysterious Island. So
Now
those
I
are
remember. Okay, so we snacked a lot here, but we did eat at 2 of the restaurants.
Which was where and
The Lost Exploration or
Lost River Delta.
Lost River Delta.
Just past.
I think it's down further. There you go.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Miguel's El Dorado Cantina. We went to Japan
to have Mexican
food, so we ate there, and it was fine. It wasn't bad, but it was kind of weird because we did go there to eat essentially Mexican food. I think we got not that stuff. I think we got like a taco plate. I think you might have tried that. The quesadillas,
pork and potato quesadilla.
Maybe I should take a more of that, but we tried the spicy meat tacos. They're fine.
Spicy?
No, meat, just meat. Not spicy. Not so much, anyways. Oh, we got that. You don't get to keep the hat.
Oh,
and it's like the little, small containers of guacamole. So the guacamole doesn't go down very deep. It's like really shallow kind of thing. So you get to the bottom of it pretty quickly.
It's like, I want to keep the hat.
Just wear it out. I wonder if we could have...
You wear the hat and you're like, nacho, nah.
Just... yeah.
Ooh.
I don't think we got the flan with the souvenir case. This was after we had gotten the alien one. So
it says Fran.
You did not get the Fran.
Specialty soft drink with Jose.
I don't think we got
Pancho.
that. I don't think we got that one. The chia seed and melon soda. I don't remember seeing that. I want to say I would have tried it, but I might have missed it, or it might not have been there when we were there. But it was okay. That was lunch. We actually had to go back because it was closed until lunch. Because it's right across the way from the Indiana Jones ride. Or not right across, but in that sort of area. And the other place we ate at was in the Mediterranean. I think it's up a little bit.
Port Discovery?
No.
American Waterfront?
Nope.
Mediterranean Harbor. There we go.
Right. We ate at... no. I should have eaten at those places. Was it Mediterranean?
Refrescos?
Or maybe it wasn't. No, because it was a one designed after Agrabah.
Oh, the Arabian Coast.
Oh yes, Arabian Coast. That was it.
Open Sesame?
I think it was the
Casbah Food Court?
Might have been the Casbah. Yeah, it was the Casbah. Yes.
You rocked the Casbah?
We rocked the Casbah. The Casbah.
Casbah.
And we got curry. She felt like we were walking past it, and she was like, "Oh, let's eat here," because we were looking for some place to eat. So that's how we more or less stumbled into it. And it's like an Indian curry, less than a Japanese curry.
So it had more flavor?
I'm more of a Japanese curry person myself. I don't really care for Indian curry. It was fine, but looking at all those choices, could have made a more informed choice had we prepared better in the front end. But actually, by this time, we were like wandering around. This is where it would have been a second day would have been more helpful, because you kind of have to do what you have to do. You gotta eat where you can. So
there it is. Curry.
Yeah, so it's basically curry. I think she got the 3 kinds of curry, so we could try as many as possible. That was kind of the thing. It's like, try as many things as possible.
Those look like little dipping containers,
Yeah.
like where you put ketchup in it
Yeah,
and serve it with fries. Is it really that small?
that's pretty small.
Wow.
Yeah. That's fine. And this was at the end of the night, so
So 1,000 yen
it's about $10.
is $8.73 US
Yeah.
dollars.
Well, it's down now. Now that I think it's usually like about 10,000 or 1,000 yen to $10 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
it's getting a little strong. You should go now. The dollar is strong. You get more bang for your buck.
Bang bang.
I don't know. I spent a lot of money, so.
She bangs. She bangs.
But yeah, we ate a lot of snacks. We didn't eat at a lot of restaurants. Although there are a lot of good restaurants there from what I read. We're just like, we just got to keep moving. We got to make sure we go on everything. And we didn't even get to go on everything.
I thought you were going to spend at least 2 days there at Disney Sea.
I was trying to make it work, but I couldn't make it work in our schedule
Yeah.
because of the other places we were going. So,
That's kind of a small menu.
none of them are really big menus. At best, they have sets of stuff. Like even the restaurants, it's more of just like, here's the thing we serve kind of thing. And you can see it. It's pretty, nothing's really a huge menu or anything from what I see. And a lot of the fancier places have a set thing that you have to eat, pretty much.
Gotta break that American mindset that I got. So I didn't order anything here, right? It's like, no, just
No.
this.
These are set.
Set.
So that's eating. But although you probably saw, we like posted a lot of snacks that we ate. Kind of thing.
Yep.
So but I don't think that all that stuff is here in the menus and stuff. So that one's kind of lost to the stuff. Okay.
So when you first walk in, where are you at?
You start in Mediterranean Harbor. Technically, you start in this area in front of, but I don't know if it's named anything. Like the first actual area with rides and stuff, I think is the Mediterranean area. But the Mediterranean Harbor is kind of like the whole harbor. And you start like on one side. Like this one, you start closer to the gondolas, but it was raining ish. When it was not raining hard, but raining enough that everyone had their umbrellas out. And we had a plan going by the 1-day plan. They were saying, you want to start off, go and get a fast pass to Tower of Terror.
Okay.
I'd forgotten to check where that was before we got in the park. And Tokyo Disney Sea is huge.
Huge.
So I'm like, shit. I want to make the most use of this time, like the opening time, to get as much as possible done. And I can't even find the first freaking ride that we're supposed to get a fast pass to. So, and I'm trying to read the map and try to figure out how to get places while on the move because I don't want to stop moving. So it was frustrating because of my own, like, I could have looked at it last night because we had a map and I didn't. So, and trying to ask for directions, you know, if I had thought about using the Google Translate, it would have been easier, but I didn't. So trying to get, like, we cut through and ended up in the gondola area somehow. We were trying to ask those cast members how to get to Tower of Terror, except Tower of Terror is hard to how to get to Tower of Terror is hard to translate if you're not translating at all. So it's like I went or she went to ask for a map in English, but no one apparently carries those on them. They only carry the Japanese ones, I guess. So they're like, oh, we'll get you one. But I'm like, we don't got time for this. So she decided to stay there. And like, so you go ahead, take my fast pass and get the fast pass. I'll wait here for the map kind of thing. So it got a little, we already got split right at the beginning. But it's like, we got to do this first kind of thing. So, when you're going that way, actually, they have, in that part, they have the Toy Story Mania. It's in their Tokyo Disney Sea. It's the most popular ride. So much so that they have a queuing area for the ride. Like, it's its own, currently its own land/area. It's only got Toy Story Mania in it, but it's got gates that keep it closed until a certain time. But everyone's running to get to that ride.
Of course, it's in the American waterfront.
Yes. And all it is that ride. But they have the gates closed to that area, and they have people they have a corral basically for everyone that's in there. And I thought, and it's like if you turn left, you're going towards Toy Story Mania. If you turn right, it's the fast pass. It's for Tower of Terror. I almost walked into the queue because I'm like lemming style, going, "Oh, these people must be waiting for what I'm waiting for." But thankfully, I was like, "Let me go around this thing," and then I went around like, "Oh, it's over here," kind of thing. So I was able to find it, but then I went back looking for her, and I don't think she was there anymore because I guess she had gotten it and was trying to look for me or something like that. It came quicker than she expected, but I was booking it, and she was calling after me, she said later.
Like two ships passing in the night.
But I found her in the queue to get into the Toy Story area. I'm like, oh, that's the Toy Story. Like, I guess I'd figured it out by then that that's what they were supposed to go for, but I finally found her. It didn't take too long. I just happened to be running back into that area, and she was there. I'm like, that's weird. Why is she here? And she told me they already got it. So I came looking for you. So after that, I was like, okay, the guide says if you've been to the Toy Story Mania, skip it. And it'll save you a ton of time because everyone's going to go there first. Kind of like it's the most popular thing ever. So take this time to go on basically everything else. So we went on...
Just like at Disney World.
So, well, their Tower of Terror is just ridiculously huge. The storyline is they made their own storyline up about this billionaire, this older guy who finds this statue and it's cursed, and it curses him, kills him, and now it's cursing you and you're in there. I mean, it's in Japanese, but you get the gist of it.
So is the ride more like the Disney World ride, or is it like the Disneyland ride?
It's like the Disneyland ride.
Okay, so you pull away from the thing first. It's not like a normal elevator going up and down, and then you push out into the fifth dimension.
No, which is weird, because that Tower of Terror is huge. It's really big. Like, you can't really tell in that picture, but it looks so big, it looks like pretty much it could actually be a hotel. And I just couldn't get over how much it's like they put this much energy, but it fits the same smaller ride that the Disneyland one is. Because the Disneyland one has a smaller footprint because it has less space to work with. So the tower is tall, but it's not big.
Yeah.
But this one's so big, I felt like it could have been like the Walt Disney World one, but wasn't for some reason. I don't know if it was built. No, that wouldn't make sense either.
Well, there's a lot more of the queue inside the building itself.
Yeah, all the queues inside.
That's probably why it's more to
at least out
house
front,
people for the weather.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, because that's his front half of the building, but there's pretty much the whole staging area behind it is still pretty big too. Like they had, it felt like they had enough room to put the good one in, and they put the crappier one in. And it's not even like the Twilight Zone storyline. It's this other storyline, because Twilight Zone probably doesn't...
Well, we lost our Twilight Zone storyline. It's going to be Guardians. Okay.
I'm willing to be surprised by it. by the Gardens tangent because I loved the Twilight Zone theming. I don't really care for the up and down rides, but I really like the theming for it enough so that I'm willing to go on it because the theming is so good, or was so good, kind of thing. Because I mean, it's essentially free fall with the theme is Tower of Terror. At least this one is, or ours is here. Was thank you. But the theme was so good, I was willing to I don't really care for the ride, but I'm willing to go on this ride because I like the theming so much. And now it's not that anymore. But I'm willing to withhold judgment because the movie surprised me, so maybe the ride will be okay too. But yeah, this one, like I said, because we went on it later, we had to go on a fast pass when we came around and went on it later, and it was basically our ride, except with the theming a bit different. And this really beautiful tower that they had that's huge and stuff. But that's the thing about Tokyo Disney Sea is everything's big. They got the volcano, which is huge. They got a cruise ship, like an old-timey Titanic-sized cruise ship. Yeah. That's just sitting out there in a harbor. Which is actually a building. It's not a ship. But it looks so real. Because it's just right out in the water. So, let's see. Let's go back up. Oh. So... Which way? Go up again. And, I'll just see. I'll just tell you which ones we went on. So we didn't go anything in the Mediterranean. Oh wait, actually, no, we didn't go anything on these three. So we didn't go on the gondolas or anything or this steamer line. Well, it's a transportation thing. I'm not sure if it's this one because there's one that goes around because instead of a railroad like Disneyland that goes around it. They have a waterway that goes around it, so you can take the water tram to another part. But it goes all the way around the middle section, so you can take this water transportation to the other side. Or is that? I think it's the same thing, right? So I think we might have gone on that, but there's one that takes you to one of the stops, and there's one that takes you all the way around, so it doesn't do any of the stops. I think it's a steamer line, so I think we might have gone on it. Yeah, at the end of the night. Looks like it's in every land almost. But we just took the one that goes all the way around. We didn't stop anywhere. Also because we were running out of space. Or time, sorry. It was right at the end of the night, so we're like, oh, we can get on this. So we didn't go on that. It's kind of like going on the train where they look at stuff and, oh, that's cool. We were on the electric railway. It actually just runs from the waterfront to the Discovery Port Discovery. Yeah. It doesn't go around the park or anything. It's just kind of back and forth. Yeah. It's kind of like I guess maybe it's supposed to be like a tram. Yeah. I mean, we did a lot of walking. The place is huge, but we took it and oh, okay, that's all it does. It just takes you over here. Okay, we'd come from over there, so now we had to walk back. So, Universal Orlando, they sell that as an attraction. The Hogwarts Express going between Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. Is that basically the theming? The train, the Hogwarts Express, but you're inside a cab with TV screens for windows and stuff. And okay. It's themed that way. And you gotta buy a ticket because it's a park hopper because this is the only way you can experience this ride. Damn it, they got me. They did. So Turtle Talk? Crush in Japanese? No. that was actually inside the ship. What? Oh, okay. That was inside. That's one of the theater. That's their theater, so they had that inside the ship. Huh. We didn't get to go inside it. Once again, you need 2, if not even 3 days to really take this all in. And then Toy Story, and then the vehicles. So Port Discovery. It's really small, actually. Aquatopia. That's a little kind of I want to say it's kind of like bumper cars on water. It's not like bumper cars because it's a set path. It's on a track kind of thing, but they spin around these whirlpools. Motorboats, the Fantasyland. It's more like what's his name? Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Something like that, except a little bit bigger, over water, but it's kind of like you're going on a set path kind of
Okay.
thing, but it's kind of like that. And it was raining, so not a lot of people were on it. So, and then they have the electric. There's not much at the Port Discovery now. I think there might have been another ride there, but they took it out. But they're putting in a Dory theme thing. I don't know if it's a ride or something, but everything was that area was kind of closed off, and like we're going to be opening a Dory thing that's themed after Finding Dory because of the aquarium. So I think they might do something with that, but it was closed when we were there. Indiana Jones Temple of the Skull, a lot like ours, slight differences actually, so worth going on. Like it's still fun because Indiana Jones is still fun.
In France, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, we ain't that one no roller coaster, but that sounds cool. Like I'd heard that and I wanted to try that. But this one was kind of a lot like ours actually. It was a lot like ours, just slightly different theming. It's ever so slightly. But for the most part, the same. And the queue was slightly different, too.
Okay. And there's the steamer line again.
Right.
And Raging Spirits. What's that?
We didn't get to go on it, but I think it's a roller coaster.
Speed Thrills.
I think it has a loop in it, too. So, and we passed it kind of at the end of the night, so we're like, we were kind of trying to do. Oh, we were still doing the other thing with the wand.
Oh.
So we were going around the park trying to get all the wand points, which I'll get to.
To unlock it.
Yes, to unlock it and to be cool. It's better at night because everything lights up and everything. But so we didn't get to go on, or we didn't. I don't think she really wanted to go on that one. And once again, honeymoon. So I wasn't going to force her to go on anything. So the Arabian Coast area, like we kind of missed it for the most part during the day, but as I was going through there trying to catch stuff, actually we wanted to go on the Sinbad storybook voyage, but the area it's really cool actually. It's basically like standing in Agrabah. Once you go through the gates, it's really like
wow,
themed as if you stepped right into the streets of Agrabah. The Sinbad storybook, it's kind of like being on Small World in that way that you're just on a boat going the thing, but it's really cool actually. It's basically a dark ride, but it's kind of long, and I think it's based on a kids show. It must be a Disney Sinbad show in 7 Seas or something like that, but I think it's based on a show. But everything's really cool in there, and like it's like follows like Sinbad and stuff. And they said, oh yeah, it's worth going on, and there was no line for it at whatever time of night it was, because it was just kind of before closing. Or no, not just before closing, but it was definitely night, so we had like an hour left or something. So we went on there, and then we came out of that ride, and like I guess Chandu is like the tiger from that ride and from the cartoon, but it was like you gotta try the Chandu tails. I guess it was a snack. The tiger tail. We thought it was going to be a pastry, like a tiger tail, because it's colored like that, but it's like a hot snack, like pastry dish. It's like got chicken inside it, and it was surprising because I thought it was going to be like a sweet pastry. No, it was a savory pastry. It was kind of caught me off guard, and it was something I was looking forward to because everyone kept saying, oh, you gotta try it, and it looks cool because it looks like a tail. Yes.
And it comes in a tiger bag.
It has to because it's kind of greasy. Oh, see, you can see it over here kind of thing, where it's kind of like a meat kind of paste thing.
Soft bun filled with chicken and corn.
Yeah.
That looks delicious.
I wish I had known that, because like I said, I was expecting something different. I was expecting like a sweet pastry, and then when I bit into it, I'm like, this sweet has gone bad. Like, oh, it's chicken. That's weird. But yeah, they said it's worth trying that one. So we tried that when we came out. I think, what was it? But yeah, the street area looks really cool. And that was at night, so I don't even know what it looks like during the day so much. But actually, at night, it looked really cool. Okay. So, we didn't go on the flying carpets, but we were running out of time, and this is on the back side of the park. So we went to the Magic Lamp Theater. It's like, I think, a 3D show, in the round. But I think I wanted to do something else. Like, I wanted to go see, I wanted to catch Phantasmic or something, or we were running out of time, and it was going to end up being our last one, but it seemed like it was going to be kind of lame.
We need more time.
And we were just like...
Oh, they do have Phantasmic in the harbor.
We didn't catch it, though. It looks different, but we didn't get to catch it. Because I think they were doing the Christmas thing, and we might have missed it because it was earlier. Although, since we're here, we did see Big Band Beat.
How was that?
I thought it was really cool because it's a live performance with the characters and everything, like a live band.
Yeah.
Carrie, but it's not her kind of music. She doesn't really care for big band or jazz or anything like that. So less so for her. She said, "Oh, it's okay," but it's very popular. So much so that they have a lottery for it, and it's weird because I was looking for the lottery, but the lottery's down the street and around a corner into some small building. I was asking, where do you get the lottery? So what they do is you go in and you scan, you pick the amount of people you want to go for, and you scan all the tickets that you want, and then it shows you all the times for the show, and you select one of the times, and then it's like, only one, and it's like, okay, is everything okay? And you're like, hit okay, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna, I forgot what it says, but it basically, if you win, your tickets come out. If you lose, you get nothing. It's like, sorry, try again tomorrow. Because you get one shot at it at any show. Like, you can't, I missed the 1 o'clock show, let me try the 3 o'clock show. No, you get one shot. That's it.
Do not lose your chance to blow.
So, and no one's really quite sure how it picks, if you got better odds, if you go a certain time, but I had heard some people say, well, you pick a later time, don't pick the nearest time, pick something second or third show from the end.
I think it's how many people try to go into.
Right, but in theory, your lotto is right then. So if you're the first one to show up for the day, in theory you're one of one, but you can still lose.
Yeah.
So in theory, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but no one's quite sure how it works.
Well, I would assume as you get closer to whatever show, and if it is empty, then you have more of a chance of saying, hey, we're not going to fill up, so he's got to start giving me tickets to whoever wants them.
Or if they've run out of tickets, they don't tell you that they've run out of tickets because they're dicks, and they're just like, I'll let them try. They're going to lose because there's no tickets left. But they won't know that.
Crowd control.
Right. They're like, oh, I lost. It's like, we already gave out all those tickets. But thanks for trying.
The seats you got were front right orchestra?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty close. And I was just happy we got them, kind of thing. But there's a standby line, which was packed. Because we met, actually, when we were standing in line at the Tower of Terror, which is right across the way from it, we met people that were from Orange County. That was their last day in Japan. They were leaving the next day. It was our second day in Japan. So we kind of talked and stuff, asked them about things, and then we got on the same elevator because we were right next to each other in line, and then they went to the big band thing, and we were talking about it, and they told us that they had tried to get the lottery, but they'd lost, and they couldn't try again, so they were just going to get into the standby and just do it that way. And this was earlier in the day. So I'm like, well, I'll try to get the lotto, at least for me and Carrie.
Yeah.
And you stand in line kind of thing. And you get in line, then if I lose, boom, we're in line. If not, if we win, we'll just come back later, which we did win. spoiler. But it worked out actually because I guess you have to have your whole party to stand in line and stand by. You can't save a place for somebody. So they were waiting for me, my lost ass, trying to find wherever the hell the lotto was. And I finally found it and came back. It's like, we won. But they were already in line, and Carrie had like separated from, so they're like, you know, you guys go. Because we were holding them back. They couldn't get into line until I showed up. But if we won, they would have been waiting for nothing, kind of thing. So she was like, you know what, just go. And so I was like, I saw them in line. I'm like, that's weird. Where's Carrie? And then she was over on the other side, outside. But it worked out because we won. But it would have sucked if we had lost and then lost our place in the line. Yeah. Well, it was a weird coincidence meeting people basically from Orange County. I mean, they were definitely not locals. They definitely seemed a lot like us, actually. I'm like, that must be what we look like when we walk around. Although, at least when we were at Tokyo Disney, Tokyo Disney the day before, I was actually, it was, I think, cold, but I was hot. Like, and we had gotten, like, the more puffy jackets because it was supposed to be super cold. But I was hot because of all the walking around. So I took off my jacket. I was just wearing my t-shirt and my slacks. And I was fine. And I was like, I'm good. Although I think it was cold. And she's like, you're the only one wearing a t-shirt right now. And then I look around.
Everyone's wearing a puffy coat.
Everyone's wearing like a coat. Yeah, basically everyone's wearing a coat or more coats kind of thing. And I'm like, you may be right. So I spent the rest of the day looking around for anyone else not wearing a coat, and nobody was. I was the only weirdo rocking a t-shirt and just like pants kind of thing.
Like, it's okay, I'm from Alaska.
Because we were walking so much that I was constantly warm enough where like I felt it was cold, but I was generating so much good. I was generating so much heat that I had my own shield of heat around me. It was really weird, but yeah. So yeah, Big Band Beat, good show. And you get to see Mickey drum, and they sing numbers too and stuff like that. But good show. I didn't get to see any other shows though. Constantly moving around. Not even that one park-wide program.
The fireworks.
Oh, wait, take that back. We did get to see King Triton's concert. I recorded it. You're not allowed to record it. But I had my GoPro and no one really noticed because it was just sitting on my chest. Like, just lean back. And, well, because Mermaid Lagoon, the area is basically the kiddie area, more or less. So,
yeah.
In the one-day guide, they're like, skip it. You know, you're an adult. Skip it. But Carrie loves The Little Mermaid, so it only made sense that we're going to end up there. And a lot of the rides, because it's inside, actually, and a lot of rides are kiddie rides, but they do have this show there. So we just happened to get there roughly when the show was more or less going to start. So we did watch the show. And it's another theater in the round kind of thing. Like, there's a stage in front, sort of, but all the action takes place above you, or, like, around. And she's on wires, actually. She's basically in a harness the whole time. So she's swimming, quote-unquote, swimming around, but it looks more like flying, technically. But she's moving all around above everyone's heads and stuff, and it's actually a really good show kind of thing. And I might have missed it if we hadn't gone in there. And she really liked it. I really liked it. So that one's worth seeing too if you're a fan of Little Mermaid. I mean, once again, in Japanese, but it's still fun that you don't really need to speak the language to just like to get into it and feel the fun, because they have, and it doesn't go through the story of Little Mermaid or anything. It kind of starts from the concert that she misses in the beginning of the movie, and then but there's other stuff, and it just stays down there. It doesn't like try to follow the whole story, so it doesn't get all dark. And I don't think Ursula's in it at all. It's actually just mostly Ariel and her family and King Triton and stuff. But what's another thing is, after the show's over, it lets you right out into the seafood restaurant. Yeah. Dark. So you just go out and you're like, have some seafood kind of thing. We didn't eat there, but we just had to look at what it was there. It's like a seafood pizza and like other stuff. I was like, this seems a little
weird.
After such an upbeat show, I just feel like this is not what she would have wanted. Yes.
Sebastian's Calypso Kitchen.
Right. I wonder if it has the same stuff we saw.
A menu containing scallop cream croquette sandwich
Bag.
with a souvenir lunch case. Seafood pizza. New French fried potatoes, extra large size.
It's probably very
Looks like
small.
a small.
That is the extra large, is small.
Scallop chowder. Chowder. Poppin' shrimp. Roll cake. Ooh.
Flounder brains.
Flounder souvenir cup.
I don't think they had that when we were there. 'Cause I'm pretty sure we would have had to buy it.
Sebastian souvenir cup.
Or they didn't have it in their show display case, maybe. Maybe. So we didn't eat there, but we did go next door where they had the shop. So definitely a chance to get more Little Mermaid merch.
Merch.
And that's where I bought the one that they had, which was weird because it was like, it wasn't even like they had this giant kiosk where it's like, buy your wand here, it can do all these cool stuff. It was like on a shelf, nondescript shelf kind of there. And I'm like, what's this wand thing kind of thing? And then I think they had a little video that is in Japanese, but kind of showed you what it did roughly. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because I had seen they had stands around the park that you could go up to and press the button and, no, you just go up to them like, that's weird. Are these just to like signify, their anniversary thing? But there's a thing in the pedestal that's wand shaped. It's like a wand cutout, and you can use it. You put the wand in there, you press the button on the wand, and it activates the whole thing. Pretty cool. And then you're supposed to go around the park and collect all of them. So that's how we found ourselves going around the park. Let's see what else was there. We didn't go on any of the rides in Mermaid Lagoon, just saw the show.
Well, Jumpin' Jellyfish looks exactly like what we have here.
Yeah. They were, like I said, mostly kiddie rides. Or kid versions of the rides.
Yeah. Mysterious Island.
Yes. Now this is the area under the volcano in the center, the Mysterious Island, which erupts. The volcano erupts kind of thing. So after we got our fast passes the morning for... Exactly. It's really cool. After we got our fast passes for Tower of Terror, they're like, okay, you got your fast pass, now go check out Journey to the Center of the Earth, because it's a good one kind of thing. And there's no lines. It's kind of like Universal. You go in, you hit the rides early, and you get the big ones out of the way. It was basically like that. We just almost pretty much went on once we found where it was.
Wow.
And we didn't know what to expect. I didn't look it up beforehand, so it could have been awful or anything, but it's supposed to be the popular one.
The volcano's huge right in the middle of the park.
Yeah. As soon as you have the ship over there, it's just big too, if it's just the scale. But it takes a while to get around to everyone. But Journey to the Center of the Earth, it's actually kind of a slow ride down to the center of the Earth, except for the end.
When something goes terribly wrong.
Like, I guess you go too far, down too many levels, and you find a monster. and then all of a sudden you're running to escape the monster, or you're moving fast. But for the most part, you're moving slow to that part, so you're expecting, oh, okay, this is a slow, dark ride. And then next thing you know, you're taking off through tunnels, and there's a drop. Kind of like Jurassic Park, the one at Universal. Not slow like that the whole way, but it's fast, and then you have a drop that you don't expect. That goes outside. See that picture over there? Like the whole ride's inside except for the drop part. Kind of like Splash Mountain too. You drop outside,
yeah,
and then the ride's over. Of course, by the time you figure out, oh my god, it's going so fast. Oh, it's done.
Ah.
Pretty cool. Like a lot of cool theming, although we pretty much walked by most of it.
Yeah, that happened to us at Haunted Mansion at Disney World, because they redid their queue on the outside and made an extended queue for when it gets busy. And there was a walk-on, and we walk in, and then we see stuff, and like, oh, stop, take pictures. People are coming behind us, like, nah, keep going, we're just taking pictures. And we were like, all right, and then keep going, and it's like, okay, that's a lot of people that went by. We should probably go.
This is becoming less of a walk-on now. We gotta go. We're losing our spots. But yeah, it was cool. It's I think it's one of those ones that the popular ones. We try to hit the popular ones. There's that one, and then there's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is right next to it, basically. Like, it's right in the middle of the volcano area. It's like in the lagoon, but it's basically the submarine ride, pretty much. The submarines we have here, except the ride vehicle you're in is smaller. It's like self-contained pods, pretty much. So it fits like 3 people or something, or 4, but everyone can look out their own side.
I think I remember reading about this one where you're not really underwater. It's like Peter Pan style, where you're hanging on a track,
Right.
and then all the water effects are within that domed bubble window.
Right.
So it bubbles and gives you the illusion of you being underwater.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
I when I was looking at it, okay, out there is empty space, but then it has the bubble effect in the glass here, where it's like you're underwater. So even though I was thinking of that, I was trying to like let my brain like stop being such a smartass. just go with it.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy it. So
stop looking for the track.
Don't be that guy. So yeah, it's cool, but it's what you think it is. It's kind of like the submarine ride, for all intents and purposes. But it's still cool. And I think that was everything.
Wow.
And like I said, we didn't even get to go on everything, or eat everywhere, or explore everywhere,
or buy everything.
I spent enough money there. We bought this. They were selling these ornaments, like these globe ones that like spun around, but you can like customize them to what you want, like to spell certain things out. Like you had to write on this paper, pay for it, then come back like in an hour or something while they put it together for you, kind of thing. So I didn't get it all because it was in Japanese.
Like those light spinners that put up a message when they spin around?
No, it was this small like ornament thing, like that you'd put on a tree, but it was made out of like it was really heavy kind of thing, a heavy metal, like I'm not sure what it was made out of, but we weren't going to get it first, but we just happened to stumble into that shop because she was looking for more souvenirs to buy for people. But it was pretty cool. I should take a picture and show you that one. And that day, like I said, when we came in, it was kind of raining a little bit. Later on, when we got off of Indiana Jones, like it was, when you come out, there's this covered area, and then you're basically back out to the main area, or the main land. But it was pouring so much that people were backing up under the exit because it was covered. But once you leave, you're just out in the open. It was just freaking pouring, So they're trying to get people to move out because they're backing up at the exit because no one wants to just go out there, and people are trying to get their umbrellas out, but it's packing up. And I didn't need to speak Japanese to know what that cast member was trying to do. Get out of the way, get out there, kind of thing. So it was kind of awkward because I was trying to record and not get my camera wet, and I didn't have the watertight case, which I guess I should have brought, but I was already packing way too much stuff. I did not pack goodly. So I definitely could have done a better job there. So I was trying to hold an umbrella while keeping my camera dry while trying to record everything. I didn't fail completely, but the footage I got, maybe not the best. Maybe not the best. But...
And then that night you slept...
so much.
As soon as you got back in the room. Sleep.
Very much so.
Sleep.
Although that's where we saw our first... when we were at our hotel, we saw like the vending machines, which are all over Japan. Apparently. But what tripped us out is like, she went and got a milk tea out of it. Because like, oh, I'll take a milk tea. And it was hot. And it threw her off. It's like, this is warm. What's wrong with this? Apparently over there, the vending machines, at least during the winter time, actually serve hot drinks. Hot coffee, cocoa, milk tea. Our friend was telling us. I'm like, oh, okay. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we were so tired when we got back. And then we were only in Tokyo for those 2 days, and then we're taking the train to Osaka. Was the plan. But but we hadn't taken a train yet. We got to the airport, we took a bus that took us directly to our hotel, so we didn't have no muss, no fuss, just we got on the bus, we got off the bus at our hotel, so we hadn't, at this point we'd only taken the monorail, and it goes in a circle, and you do have to buy a ticket for it, for the monorail specifically. And then we were trying to figure out how, once we got out of the monorail, you had to transfer to the regular train system in Tokyo. So you're like trying to figure out everything like that. But it was interesting. It was a trip. Trying to figure that out. Any questions about Disneyland? Tokyo Disney?
No.
Tokyo Disney Sea?
It's pretty well explained.
There's another land area there too, the Cape Cod area.
Oh yeah.
Which is really, like, it's so big that they're separated. Like, you walk a ways and it's not like you're morphing. It's like you're just in a different area. And that was when there's no rides in Cape Cod. I think there's maybe a restaurant there. But it's so different. Like, it's such, like, if you're in that area, you're just like, it's so different from the other area. Kind of like the Agrabah. There's just so much attention to detail and how it looks that you forget, oh, I'm just standing in a Disney park. It's like, no, I've gone to New England on the East Coast or something, some small town or something like that, area that just, it looks completely different. You can't see really any other part of the park. You just,
yeah,
in this town all of a sudden. Well, all of a sudden I say, but
Cape Cod.
You're just walking around and you're like, huh, this area feels completely different.
Did you take a picture with Mickey?
I don't think he was there.
Or you didn't find him.
Or we didn't find him. I mean, it is right out in the water. We must have missed him. Did not get a picture. But I just want to point that area out because it's also where they have the Duffy stuff.
It exists.
And I don't know, it struck me as just like, oh, that's so, like, such an attention to detail. in this area, this small area where there's, like I said, no attractions really. It's just made to look
That's all Duffy.
all the Duffies. All the expensive Duffies.
It's Mickey and Duffy.
That's what makes me think it wasn't there, because that's different from the other one. Or they just add Duffy.
Yeah, I think they added him.
So they can remove or whatever they feel like. Because
Well, it's a bronze. I think it's bronze statue.
we would have. I didn't see. We would have noticed that. Oh, we tried those. That'd been weird. If it was ours. Too cute to eat.
Nope.
No. I think that's where we got the Duffy stuff that we gave you was from the Cape Cod area, because that's where they have the Duffy stuff. So that's where you got to go. Although the popcorn bucket, I don't think was there. That was somewhere else, and there was only one place. I'm glad we were able to find it. Yeah, that ship is huge, and it's just like, oh, it's not an action. It doesn't go anywhere. It just is there just to add ambiance mostly, and be another space
That holds Turtle Talk with Crush.
and some others. I don't know if you can just walk the deck or something. Maybe you can, but that's kind of like shows you how far they're. I would say Imagineers. They use Imagineers, or
Yeah, they work with Disney to plan everything.
how big they go with theirs. Like,
Yeah, it's really up to budget, up to like how much they want to spend.
and they are okay apparently spending a lot of money. From what it looks like.
Yep.
Because everything looks like it has. They're like, just take the money, just make it look as good as you can. Like they didn't skimp on anything, even though they could have. They could have put up like false facades or did more, forced perspective. It almost feels like, screw forced perspective. We're just gonna build it big. It's what it feels like most of the time. Like the gondola area, we didn't even spend time in that area. That's a whole other area with just gondolas. We ran past in the morning, never had time to go back. I see what they did there.
Did you see that?
I didn't see it. Like I said, it was so big, I might have just wandered past and not even noticed it.
C-3PO biplane. Not to Star Wars.
Yes.
In the Lost River Delta.
Which is probably right across the way from the Indiana Jones ride.
Yep. I'm just looking through Google Images now. And going, wow.
Start planning your trip now.
Eat all the things.
I'd like to see you give it your best try. You would plan it out, although you'd have to eat
Well, I would
5 restaurants a day.
I'd probably skip the stuff. I would look at the menus like, no, that one, yeah, ooh, definitely that one. Well, it's just like going to Epcot. There's so much to eat over there. You really have to pick and choose.
You didn't eat everything there?
Nope.
You didn't eat your way around the world?
Nope.
Or drink your way around the world?
But the stuff I did eat was delicious. I only had one flub in my whole Disney World trip of restaurants for our honeymoon. That was at the Magic Kingdom, and we ate at Tony's Italian restaurant, the one from Lady and the Tramp.
Sounds good.
Sounded good. It was like the worst Italian food ever. It was like super bland. Came from like, I don't know, like a freezer.
Yum.
It was like those like dollar frozen food Italian meals. That's what it tasted like. Like, how is this food? It's like $15 a plate
How is this
with the cheap stuff.
Wow.
And I try to pick the things that had more flavor, that should be more savory. Yeah, but that was more because really there's a lack of options to eat there for a reservation type restaurant, and I wanted to have at least one in every park.
That's
just to see.
Just one,
because everything else, like the counter service stuff, that was fine. Like everything that we had counter service wise, but I already said we're gonna eat here, we're gonna try this, we're gonna try that. This is good, this is not good. Like you're looking at the menus and you're like, Probably would have been better having like the Crystal Palace breakfast buffet thing, or getting a table at the Royal Banquet Hall with all the princesses come around taking pictures with you.
Wow.
Except that was when they were building New Fantasyland, so it was just construction if you looked out the window.
Oh, not much
So
of a
like,
view.
I don't want to spend the money if there's that.
I can spend the money, but do I want to for this?
No.
So yeah, that's more or less everything that I can remember. But
For that first part.
for the first part, and that was just 2 days, and technically not so much of a Japanese experience. It was more like going to Disneyland where no one spoke English. Less like actually being in Japan. So I was like, okay, we gotta get out there and mingle with the people.
So what about the rest of the places in Japan? Was there anything really noteworthy that you came across or ate?
It was a lot of stuff, but
Perfectly marbled Kobe beef?
not Kobe beef though, which is apparently a misnomer. Like, it's apparently, from what I gathered, Kobe beef is essentially mostly a branding name kind of thing. Like, you can get that marbled beef, but it's not Kobe beef. It's basically a beef they sell there. Like, they have different types of beef that have the really super marbled, but Kobe beef became the one that, you know, kind of spread its name across to the U.S. But it's not like, it's kind of like you'd go there and you'd say it and you kind of sound like an idiot because you don't really know. Like, it's like, that's what I told him. It's like, that's what people say you're supposed to get. It's like, well, there's different beefs that kind of accomplish the same thing, or that are better, but Kobe beef is the one that everybody knows.
Back to the show.
There you go.
So,
it's basically
I think what you're referring to is the Wagyu beef.
Well, there's that one
so
as well.
it refers to any cattle that's bred in Japan or the Japanese style, or Japanese style beef. Kobe beef is comprised of a very particular strain of Wagyu called Tajima Gyu that is raised to strict standards in the prefecture of Hyogo. That's the difference.
But yeah, it was exactly what, like, that's not technically Kobe beef, but it was still expensive. But it's that thing where you eat it and it melts in your mouth. It's like really rich. Like, our tour guy wouldn't really eat it because it kind of messes with his stomach because it's so, the way it melts kind of thing. It's really fatty. It's really rich. I was like, screw that. I'm eating as much as possible.
So here's a question. You hired a tour guide to kind of show you around, right?
Right.
So when you go eat out and he's like, oh, this is a good place to eat, like, is he paying for his own meal or you're buying him food?
You're buying him food.
Okay.
But you get the translation there too, because ain't nothing usually, depending on the place you go, and the more hole-in-the-wall place, they're less likely to speak English. So you're looking at a menu that probably won't have any pictures, that just has text on it, and you're just like,
Right, learn Japanese before you go. Got it.
Yeah, even then, even if you knew it, you'd be like, you wouldn't know kind of thing. That's one of the things where, like, when I heard that, you know, I'd have to pay for his food, it kind of, like, I don't know about that. But it kind of does help, actually, because he can take you to more local places. For example...
This is good. I know it's good because I like it.
kind of, like, if you like drinking, that was kind of our tour guide thing. We don't really drink, so it's kind of a little lost.
Dang
But
it.
yeah, but like he was taking us on a tour of different places. Like in Osaka, he took us to like Osaka Castle, which they take basically everybody to, every tourist. But then he was telling us that like, you couldn't see it, but further down is where the original moat was, like the original moat and wall was, but you can't see it even from the castle. It's that far away. But later on the tour, we ended up where there was a piece of it, like they had found a part of the original one. It's like way in this neighborhood, like you can't even see Osaka Castle anymore. And it was later on in the tour, so you'd kind of forgotten about it, but you remember when he brought it up. It's like, see this wall right here? This is the original one. And he was taking us through this historical neighborhood. He took us to this one hole in the wall, like takoyaki place. Now, a lot of places, like when we were in Osaka, especially, like you go down the street, there's like a ton of takoyaki places, like just booths kind of thing that everyone, it seems like, sells. Or, I mean, not really, but it seems like you're seeing it. Like if you want takoyaki, you'll find it there. But he took us to this small place that only locals know about. Like it wasn't near the main path. There was no like giant stores or anything. It was just this small place that, like a corner place that only locals probably came to. And I guess they usually come there later, but we got lucky because it was like a slow time. There was no one there at the time, but there was nothing but houses around it. Like it was that kind of place. He took us there, and I was like, I wanted to try. I knew I wouldn't like it because I don't like seafood that much or shellfish or anything like that. But I was like, I'll try takoyaki somewhere. So this is where I tried it, over here, and it was good. I don't think I could eat it anywhere else now. Like it was these smaller ones. It wasn't like the big ones, but it was like really smaller, and basically the octopus in it, because it has little bits in there, was chewable. It wasn't like just like rubbery where you couldn't it's like, well, you better swallow that.
It's fresh.
Because you're not going to break it down. Yeah, it was fresh to the point where you could break it down. You chew it, it'll break down. You can swallow. Just like, well, gotta swallow this whole thing because it's basically rubber now, kind of thing. And where we were, it's like it's fresh, and you watch the guy make it right there. It was just for us, kind of thing. It was really cool. But now I'm like ruined for eating it anywhere else because now my standards are way too high. That if we go to like Oko,
there's not really food that you don't like. It's food that you haven't tried that's been prepared correctly yet.
That's what I was wondering, because that's why I was willing to try everything in Japan, because I'm probably gonna get, in theory, the best version of it. If I still don't like it here, I'm not gonna like it anywhere, kind of thing, is what my thought was. So I wanted to go to a sushi place, like a really good one, and try the weird things that they have there.
Of sushi.
I want to try we didn't get a chance to, but like I heard of like a place in like Hokkaido, which is like in the northern part of Japan, which we didn't even go to, but some really good sushi places there, or a specific place, and like they were saying, well, I don't even like this type of sushi, or this type of fish, but the way they prepared it here, and it's super fresh, I like this one. So I wanted to do that, but it was so busy. Most of the plans, like I said, kind of fell through, kind of thing. Let's see here. Oh, okay, but like, the only problem is, like I said, we only got to 2 days of the trip. And I told you something about one other part of the trip.
But I'm looking at your pictures, and you had steak katsukura.
Oh, that's why I have
tonkatsu,
a lot more to say, but
ramen.
If I were to talk about it right now, we'd be here for another couple hours.
Gyoza, fried rice.
Because I tried a lot of good food, and
all you can eat cabbage, rice, and miso soup with your tonkatsu.
Oh, yes.
Ninja Kyoto, the robot restaurant.
Oh
McDonald's, Burger King, Shakey's.
Mine might have to be an ongoing segment. I'll just do like one day. We'll do whatever we're talking about, and then do like one other day, and then come back to it because it's that kind of different from like hell. The Shakey's part alone was its own kind of what the heck kind of thing.
You said they had no pepperoni over there, right?
I did not find one.
You're like, what's pepperoni?
I felt weird asking about it because they had a lot of pizzas there, but not one of them had a pepperoni on it, which was weird. At least here, everything has a pepperoni and something else, or
pepperoni and
cheese.
sausage, pepperoni and pepperoni.
Exactly. And I wanted a pepperoni pizza, and I couldn't find one. At least not there. That's a story for another time.
Pizza time!
I'll definitely come back to this. I'll touch on this more so. It was what I was worried about. Like I found that because when I was talking to somebody else about Japan, it's just like it's just so different and kind of weird in some ways, and cool in other ways. And I didn't even get to do everything I wanted to do.
You didn't go to Mount Akina, initial D.
I didn't go to Mount Fuji. I didn't go to see a baseball game. I didn't go play the Initial D game where you're in a car. And I knew where it was, too. It was just really out of the way. Partially my own fault, though. I bought a lot of Japanese video games. And, like, an embarrassing amount of peripherals and Japanese games.
Train conductor.
I now own 2 train controllers, 1 airplane controller, 1 Dreamcast twin stick. I almost bought a Saturn twin stick so I could play Virtual On in my house. I don't know if you played that one, the one where you have the 2 sticks and you're essentially piloting a robot.
No.
It's pretty awesome. But now I own the sticks to control it, because it controls kind of like a tank where you move it like that. And I had to haul it across Japan like an idiot. And my lovely, lovely wife put up with it. Very much so put up with it. So that's very nice of her. But that being said, even with all my procrastinating or me like looking at stuff, I still don't think we would have had enough time to do everything we wanted to do. So I got to go back again. But I'll tell you more about that later.
I want to hear all about Mount Haruna.
Mount what?
The Mount Akina, based in Initial D's Gunma Prefecture.
Well, that's where you're going.
Yeah.
That's like where
I saw a short documentary on it, and I'm like, ooh, that's cool.
where did you say it was?
Gunma Prefecture. So it's Mount Akina, but it's based on the actual Mount. I just said it.
Haruna. Mount Haruna.
And they have tons of Initial D stuff everywhere, like in those little shops. It's like, oh, we know what you're here for. The driving.
So basically, that'd be your version of what I did, except it's all in one place.
Well, they have temples and ramen shops and stores.
Yeah, so did the
So
place that
it's-
I went to. But I gotta be honest, when you're there,
Go see all the temples, shrines.
yeah, go to Kyoto. There's a lot of them there. It's one main thing. Literally the one main thing. Oh, that is out of the way.
Yeah, it's
So
far.
it's really out of the way. That's its own trip right there. You can't even just like, oh, we're gonna pop off here. Nope.
I'd like to rent a Hachiroku.
We know what you're doing.
I know not of what you're talking about.
I definitely think you need to go to there. Although I don't know how you'd get to there. It's really awkward since this is not near a train station or anything. I guess you'd have to take a taxi or something, or a bus. Or, I don't even know. That's super awkward. It's hard enough to get around, at least if there was a train near it, but that is in the middle of nowhere. But if you got to go to your Mecca,
Sure.
that's your place. But I could also tell you where they have those cars too, so you could really actually race in them. Even though I didn't get to do it, but you can do it when you go. So Ben's going to Japan this year. He's already planned it out in his head.
Sure.
It's going to be awesome. He's just going to go to Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, to the mountain, and back again. Technically, you could do that all in Tokyo, so you don't have to go anywhere else.
Never been to Hawaii. It's more tropical there.
Yeah, they're both islands.
It also has a touch of Japanese culture to it.
There you go. It's like practically the same thing.
I don't need a passport to go there.
But you do need a passport.
Eventually.
In general. You do need to get one.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yes. Because you're going to go world traveler this year. Starting this year.
Possibly.
Yeah. Life's too short. You got to get out there and go experience the stuff.
Save the best for last. You died. See what happens when you save the best for last.
What's the last thing? Death.
Dang it. You got me there.
Go out there and go places.
Adventure is out there.
Go strap some balloons to the building and fly off. I think it worked in the movie. But yeah, I definitely have a lot to talk about, so I'm willing to stretch it out, save it, in case we don't have another topic or anything.
There's always topics.
There is.
You didn't even talk about the Nintendo Switch.
I know. That's why I was like,
Pre-orders already sold out. Amazon, Walmart, and even the Legend of Zelda game. If you pre-ordered it off Amazon, you would have got a $12 discount.
You mean their extensive launch library?
While they still had it in stock for pre-order. Their pre-order stock. And now it's just Best Buy, Target, GameStop. So I'm wondering, it's like, are there going to be any other bundles?
Yeah, probably.
There's going to be a gold Switch that comes out.
Oh,
eventually.
God.
A year from now.
It's already sold out. Now.
It comes out in less than 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
It's a little quick.
A month and a half about.
Especially since they just announced it. I mean, officially announced it, more or less. Like they had.
It's basically the NVIDIA Shield, but with the Nintendo treatment on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I maybe have to go watch the video or something, but
the Zelda one, you got to watch that. Then you'll be sold. You're like, I have to have it just for this game.
I played it already.
Oh.
I watched the video and I played it at E3. It was fine.
I saw the video and I'm like, oh, it's going to be awesome. So awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I had a very narrow, like, they just let us go. So it wasn't even like a full on, like, do this so you could see all the awesome stuff. I might have just been to the left of awesome stuff because I was going the wrong way. Because they let you go anywhere you wanted, which was cool because you had free reign to do what you wanted. But I feel like I might have missed some of the cooler aspects. Although I don't really care for breakable weapons. That's never been a good thing, but it was interesting. I haven't seen the video, though, the newest video for
That's
it.
awesome.
So maybe after I watch that,
Should I pull it up right now or later?
you
Or
can.
next time.
Well, I mean, we still have time for the Switch because they only announced and stuff, so it ain't gonna be out by the next one. And maybe they'll have more games to actually present for launch.
All right, let's. This is it. Yeah. It's like, which one is it?
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, it's the one.
Okay.
The Master Sword.
ハイラル王国の歴史は太古の昔から幾度もガーノンという名の厄災に見舞われてきた歴史。
It's subtitled.
Yeah.
Japanese.
今こそ話そう。100年前何があったのか。
私が今までしてきたことは何の役にも立たなかった。
そして娘を救ってやってくれ。
Breath of the Wind. Wild. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah?
You want some of that?
Yeah.
Some of that sweet, sweet soda?
Yes. Yes, I do.
First in line to get your game?
Nope. No, I'm not.
Not again? Just like the old days? Are we too old for that?
Yeah.
Well, time is on our side. We'll eventually get him. I'll get the specialized version. Yeah, it's coming up quick though. It was pretty good though. Oh, I did play it, so. Unless they come out with a special edition, then you must buy it. Special link edition.
Well, they have a special edition of the game, which I want to get.
Which is also sold out. Right? Or were you waiting for it to go on sale?
I don't think it's released yet. I think the original game was already out for pre-order. But what I noticed, a lot of people are getting it just to resell it.
Ugh. It's the worst. From what I gather. I can't believe it's a thing now. I gotta beat somebody out that doesn't even want the thing. Great.
It's funny, people are like, is that voice acting in my Zelda? And some of the comments were like, yeah, it's gonna have awesome voice acting, except Link is still gonna grunt and make noise like, ah!
It can be no other way. And then everyone just looks at him like he's special. What's his problem? Oh, he just does that.
Yeah, so time is on our side. It is a new year.
Indeed it is.
And with the new year comes many new things to talk about.
Oh.
Which you already have a idea with the special Japan segment.
Oh, yes. I need a theme song for that. It'll probably be super racist. The better. Was there something else I was going to talk about too? Well, I can talk about it next time too, but I mean it's running a little longer, but
I mean just barely past the 3-hour mark. Barely.
I thought it'd actually go long. It could go long because I also want to talk about resolutions and stuff, which can wait till next time because they're ongoing. Because I wasn't gonna get any of them done day one. Like
that was my original question for this one. We were talking about other stuff,
right? I had some, so we can get back to that because if anything, there needs to be a progress report on how it's going because most of the stuff that you have for resolution tends to take longer than whatever today is. 14 days. Yes, so I think anything worth doing, and I don't know if you had any, because I actually did have some this time, which I'll talk about next time, but I had stopped. I didn't really do resolutions, but I was like, this time I had reason to do it, or I felt like I had reason, but it makes sense in my head. There's that. The Switch. CES. No, don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, well, not much happened at CES.
Exactly.
It's all the same stuff.
Which
it's
is
just
sad.
Closer to actual release now.
That means we're officially in the future, which makes it lame. Because it makes it the present. Bummer. Maybe VR? Yeah?
What does it mean? It means your future hasn't been written yet.
So make it a good one.
Dr. Emmett Brown. Scientist. Time traveler.
Well, I'm glad we were able to finally get back on at least get a podcast. And
First in this new year.
So paying for nothing. So, yes. Getting my money's worth now.
Days of Auld Lang Syne.
Actually, you could also we could talk about all things New Year as well. Like what you did. Need some traditions. Which is part of my resolution. One of my resolutions as well, so.
Make new traditions.
My tradition. Make new tradition. One down.
Score.
So we got stuff this new year. Looking forward to this new year. It's going to be a good one. So I don't die halfway through it or something. No promises.
Extreme sports. Bungee jumping. Skydiving. Hot air ballooning. Skydiving into a hot air balloon and then bungee jumping out of it. Yeah.
You really got to push those together. I've got 2 of the 3. So we're going to go bungee jumping is basically what he's saying.
Yeah. Lots of things to talk about. So on that note, time to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
So questions, comments, feedback, you can write to us at kNightsPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm doing it now.
Yeah. It must be a new year.
You can comment.
Oh.
Check out some stuff. Follow us. Tweet us. All these things on the social medias. Like Facebook. Facebook.com/TacoKnightsPodcast. Twitter handle @TacoKnights. Podcast was too long to fit, so just Taco Nights on Twitter.
Can't do it.
But it fits on everything else, like Instagram @TacoKnightsPodcast.
I think I start taking pictures of my food.
Are we on Stitcher?
Can we be on Stitcher? No. I think we are.
Okay, so you can find us on Stitcher.
That's where
TuneIn Radio? iTunes, yeah.
That was the one I use. Podcast Addict. I guess that's not really
I think
thing.
that uses iTunes to...
I basically aggregates from other things. Yeah. So, yes, the iTunes, yes.
Are we on TuneIn Radio?
What's that?
Okay, so... what about Google Now? Or
Play?
Music Now?
No.
Play Music?
Music?
Yeah, they started a podcast thing on there too. Well, wherever you listen to podcasts, if you can't find us in one of those places, or reach us directly at TacoKnightsPodcast.libsyn.com.
Ooh.
Direct website.
Wow. That's direct.
Wow.
Cut to the chase there. Cut out the middleman. Just go directly to the source, the pure source.
Pure.
Cut it pure. This makes me want to dance. It's weird.
For race.
Race and dance. Dance racing.
Cut to the chase. Chase the race.
Yeah.
Race chase. Did I get everything?
You got everything.
I think I got everything.
You got more than everything. Man, it's a new year. There's new stuff. We better look into that.
New things. All the things.
All the things. And we're going to expand the show. We might even talk about, like, theme parks and food. We might even have a theme song for that stuff, too.
Go Joe Rogan length on the podcast.
Yeah, to kick it up to forever, apparently.
Yeah.
We're just getting back into stride. I'm sure that's a sentence. Got anything else to add?
Night of Fire. Karaoke this.
You can do that in Japan. I don't know if you can do it in the
You can
States.
race to this music in Japan.
Isn't this what you play when you're rolling around in your car? Just on loop? Racing people that don't know they're racing?
racing in my mind, taking my car up to the limit, 35 miles an hour.
You become the Drift King.
Yeah.
And with that, thanks for listening to the podcast. So good to be back. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. Like next week.
A week from now.
Yes. Sorry to make you wait so long. But hopefully it was slightly worth it. Maybe.
Slightly. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, a little bit, you know. I don't want to get in over our heads or anything like that.
kNights podcast. That across from me is Keikoa.
That's who I am.
And I am Ben.
The host of the show. The hostess with the mostest. Wait, no.
We are your hosts.
2017.
This year. This show.
This time. Thanks for listening.
Until next time.
When we'll talk about it.
Talk about it.
Right now.